going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. I am Tim.
And I'm Adam.
That's Adam.
What up, everybody?
And we do have the great Lydia of Whiterun, who's invisible.
I'm carrying things over here.
Yes, she can't
but
be
she's
seen.
here. You can't see her, but she's really here.
But we can fast travel so long as she's here carrying our stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Man, funny video game jokes, right? So
Hilarious.
actually, I have some news before we jump into the show, ragging on celebrities for being insane. I mean, I'll mention this first. Celebrities are insane.
Yes, they are.
We just really get to see it now.
Yeah.
It's coming out. So anyway, there's some good news.
They don't have anyone checking them.
We have good news.
That didn't work.
Which is not so great news, but still kind of good news. And so anyway, we're on iTunes now. This is really good.
Yes.
It means the podcast, after it's live, you can go on iTunes, you can get it free of charge. But then we realized if we're going to try and get this hosted on every other platform, it doesn't make sense to like gate it through membership. So if you want to support the channel, you can still join, become a member. But we're going to post the unlisted full stream for free for everybody in the community section. And my apologies to everybody if you joined because you were hoping to get like premium access. But we decided I just felt like it didn't make sense. And we've had so many people hitting us up saying, please get on iTunes and Spotify and Google. So I was like, there's no way we can gate that. It's like, it's on iTunes. It's free.
Right.
So then I was like, whatever, man. We really do rely on the super chats. It really does help sustain the show. And if you like it, hop in the super chat because we are going to be ragging hard on celebrities.
Yes.
We got a couple celebrity stories.
It's pretty funny.
So the stories for today, just to give you a quick rundown for those that are just tuning in, we got Ryan Reynolds mocking celebrities, and Ryan Reynolds is a national treasure. Even though he's Canadian, he's ours. He's ours now.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And BuzzFeed actually put together a list of, it's a listicle, 19 celebrities that have done like ridiculous out-of-touch stuff, and it's really funny. Here's the best part. Britney Spears has gone communist.
That is pretty funny.
For real, yeah. Yeah, she's calling for wealth redistribution in a general strike. And it's like, what? Of all the people, okay, all right, comrade Britney.
Okay.
And then we got a couple other sciencey, fun and sad stories. Interestingly, the draft is back on the table for women, which we know where that one goes.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple cool stories and some the root of evolution.
The true origin of animals
This
on
is
the planet.
we got a
Very
story
noble.
about. It's this weird worm that we all derive from, I guess, but also the Wonder Chicken.
Wonder Chicken.
The root of all chickens.
Ah.
The great ancestor of chickens and how they became pathetic little funny things, whatever. But I got some bad news too. NASA has suspended its moon shuttle, a rocket.
No.
You know why?
Why?
Yes.
Coronavirus.
Dang it.
Now I'm angry you've made it personal, COVID.
Right.
Corona.
But for the time being, if you want to ask questions, we're going to jump into the first segment. And I'm so happy. I want to make fun of celebrities. I hate these people.
And Ryan Reynolds does such a wonderful job of
Does. I
making
love
fun
him.
of them with us. It's great.
So first, from the Washington Examiner, Ryan Reynolds mocks celebrities for coronavirus messages. Quote, I think we all know that it's the celebrities that we count on most. I got to take it back. I don't hate all celebrities, right? I'm exaggerating a little bit because Ryan Reynolds is a celebrity and he's one of the best for reasons like this, dragging down these narcissistic, arrogant elitists who think they're better than you. And they know it, to quote Globo Jim. But it's fun.
Jim.
Yeah, you remember that, right? From Dodgeball?
No.
Ben Stiller's character was like, "Here at Globo Jim, we're better than you," and we know it.
We know it.
That's what I think. Whenever I see any one of these celebrities post their stupid messages,
Yeah.
We relate to you.
no, it's like they think they're better than you. And look, I'm not trying to imply that celebrities are literally sitting there like smoking cigars, going like, "What a bunch of morons." But they're actually like, they think of. Here's how I feel. These celebrities view the rest of people as moronic children, like dumb kids. And so they're like, wouldn't it be so cool? Everyone would love it if we all sang together and did the celebrity thing. And so we did rag on them for singing that cursed song, the cursed version of Imagine.
Still haven't heard it.
Oh,
You don't want
lucky
to.
I
Adam.
haven't done it. I don't.
man.
My ears are precious to me.
Dude,
That's
you know
right.
what's really crazy is that the coronavirus has really exposed how these people are talentless. Like, maybe talentless is the wrong word,
Okay.
but they really do rely on these big machines to make them special.
Seem better than they are.
Because think about someone like Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
He shines.
He
Like
does.
he does his own. He did that commercial with the Peloton woman. Do you see that one?
No.
So do you know the Peloton commercial thing that went viral?
No, I don't know what this is.
It was this cursed commercial where this woman like comes home and her husband buys her the Peloton bike, which is it's an exercise bike with the iPad in it. Basically, that's all it is.
Sure.
And it was this really awful commercial. So it
Okay.
goes viral with everyone ragging on it. Ryan Reynolds immediately calls up her agent or whatever and says, I wanted to do a commercial for my gin company. And the commercial was just slowly zooming out from her face with this look on her face where she's like, kind of just like, because she's being ragged on.
Yeah.
And her friends are like, you're safe here. And then she like chugs her gin and tonic or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other woman goes like, okay, and she slides her over another one. So like Ryan Reynolds, this dude's a legit genius.
Yeah.
Like I don't use the word genius to mean like he's a mathematical whiz or a scientist.
Yeah.
No, he's like an expert in his craft. He's funny,
okay.
charismatic.
Yeah, he really is.
So he nails it. But then you can look at a lot of these other people, and they really have no idea what they're doing.
Yep.
Like case in point is you got to see this video, man. I think this is it. I'm not trying to be mean, but Trevor Noah trying to do his show. So there's like Stephen Colbert did this.
Okay.
They're doing these
Yeah, from home.
from home
Colbert
videos.
was in his tub.
He was in his tub.
He was in his bathtub.
Was he really? Like
No, he was wearing a full suit though.
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
they really
was
are
That's kinda funny.
losing it.
Bubbles and everything.
that's that I appreciate. Yeah, that's funny.
It was pretty funny.
But one of the things that he did is like in his backyard, he does this like sitting by the fire pit,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's just like, wow, man. You start to see how they really don't have anything to them.
The X Factor, if you will.
Yeah, I don't. You know what's crazy is, I'm a YouTuber.
Okay.
I sit around and I rant at the camera on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You are now a YouTuber, podcaster.
I am a YouTuber now.
But
I didn't even think about that.
But think about.
Hey, I'm a YouTuber.
Look at
But think
that.
about this. Think about
I've
like
made it in life.
Yes, he has.
think about how people are watching us, and we do this routinely.
Yeah.
And you can see the set we have. We've put work into it. Once they lose access to the machine, the network, like Trevor Noah is just sitting in front of his shelf that he didn't even, like, what did he do? What shelf is this? Are those cabinets? Like, it really feels like they have no idea what to do.
But look at
They're-
those quality coffee table books. Man, wow.
So, well, yeah,
So
pull this up. Look,
impressive.
this is, like, what is this?
I don't know. I see Peter Lindbergh, Wild, Beautiful Places. He's so classy with his coffee
I
table
like
It's
books.
just
His
what
flowers.
we're seeing now with all
They
of
are
the.
actually quite nice.
They're trying. They're
I'm
trying.
not gonna lie, they're pretty.
They're pretty.
I like flowers.
It's really amazing for me to see that. I worked for a big studio. I worked for a big network.
Yeah.
And I'm capable of making a regular video in my house and making it look well, like making it look good.
I'm gonna have
They
to
can't do
see
it.
some proof.
What my YouTube videos?
Yeah, no, make a video, out in the house, not in your studio.
Well, I made tons of them, dude. I made
Yeah,
a bunch
he
of
has.
documentaries. Like, I've been shortlisted for a bunch of awards.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I used to do full-length documentary stuff.
Okay.
And then when I would need
Okay.
to do... So I've been pitching to all these big companies, like, you need to hybridize. You need to be able to produce on the fly at home studios. Look what they're doing. It's like, once they lose access to the studio, it's like, so Donald Trump said, yeah. And then everyone... It's like, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, no
Like,
teleprompter.
what's going on?
No teleprompter, no laugh track. And it's all just...
It's Joe Biden
Empty.
all over again.
Yeah. So anyway...
Tell me what to say. Tell me what to say.
So anyway, here's what Ryan Reynolds said, right?
All right.
Actually, I wonder if I can play the video.
Ooh,
Is
I
it
don't
going to work
know.
if I play it?
Gonna pop it out.
Well, thank you, Prime Minister Trudeau. We need to work together to flatten the curve and fight off COVID-19. I think in times of crisis, I think we all know that it's the celebrities that we count on most. They're the ones who are going to get us through this. Right after healthcare workers, of course,
Yes.
first
Truck
responders,
drivers. Yeah.
people who work in essential services, ping pong players, mannequins, childhood imaginary friends. Sure, like 400 other types of people. Look, stay at home, practice social distancing, wash your hands. We are going to get through this thing. We're going to get through this thing together. And I'd like to nominate these three great Canadians to spread the word. Mr. Stephen Page, Constable Terry Reynolds of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and Mr. Seth Rogen of the Point Grey Rogans.
Point Grey Rogan. What does that mean?
So that was funny.
Anyway,
That
was great.
And I love that he's doing a takedown of these people because now we're going to jump into BuzzFeed. I love BuzzFeed. I mean that facetiously. The 19 most tone-deaf things celebrities have said or done about coronavirus. If I see another celebrity complaining about quarantining in their huge mansion one more time, I swear to God, Matt, I completely agree. He's the guy who wrote the listicle or compiled it.
Yeah.
And so I started reading the list. I had to stop because it was so funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're going to see in this list of out of touch, insane celebrities, but let's just jump into it.
Oh, Jamie Dornan. I've worked with him before.
Who's that? Where?
He's the guy from 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, right. Why was he somebody? Oh, that's right. He was singing that song.
Oh no.
Gal Gadot and a bunch of very rich people sang "Imagine" from their very rich houses. we did talk about that, right?
We don't need to play that.
No,
because
definitely not.
I treasure my ears.
The celebrities singing "Imagine" to us poor common folk during a pandemic. Aw. Vanessa Hudgens made a really stupid video where she asked why the coronavirus is such a big deal.
Who's that?
I don't know. Who is she?
She was a child star, which probably explains some of her weirdness.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I love this one. Check this out.
From Sia. Oh man.
So first, I think Sia's great. I like her
think so,
music.
too. I think she's
This
one of the
tweet,
best
though,
singers
man.
But this tweet-
alive right now. She's incredible.
Sia posted this dumb, confusing drawing that means literally I have no idea. She scratched out Veer and it says us. I love this. Look at this tweet. It's finally over, guys. We can come out now. I love it.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Corn. I love it. It's great.
Oh man.
We're cured. I like the corn one. All right, here we go. Oh,
Oh,
what is
no.
this, dude? That just ruined my day. What?
Why?
She's Botoxed out of existence.
Wow,
Look
she
at her
really
eyes.
is. What happened to
She's
her?
peering out of squinty
Madonna
little.
called the coronavirus the great equalizer from a bathtub sprinkled with rose petals.
What is
I
going
feel
on?
Dude,
so
listen,
understood.
That's terrible.
I feel so
Dude,
understood.
hold on.
Oh
Listen.
my gosh.
Do you guys know?
I don't even recognize who that is. If you didn't say it was Madonna, I would not have been able to tell you that was
I don't know
Madonna.
what happened to her.
Do you have any rich friends? Have you like grow up with like some rich friends?
Yeah, I know you.
Me? Oh, come on. But I'm talking about growing up. Do you know, like, did you grow up with
No.
people who were just completely out of touch?
Not at
I'm from
all.
the south side of Chicago, right?
I knew
Everybody knows
nobody.
it.
No.
But I met some people, you know, around the time of like Occupy Wall Street, and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's this. It's them being like, have the maid do it. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like being
Why don't
so
you
out of
just-
touch.
No, those people always annoyed me. I
feel bad
you
for 'em.
kind of get the vibe around those kind of people, and I don't like the vibe that they send off. You know, like let other people do it.
So
I don't like that. I like to do
dismissive,
my own thing. I like to
Right.
handle my own business. You know, take care of my own stuff.
It's not so much about, you know, being responsible for yourself. It's about they're so out of touch. They think you could hire maids.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just hire maids? It's like, because that costs a lot of money.
Yeah, 'cause it's expensive.
Or it's like, or actually, it's like, why don't you hire maids? But like, I'm actually a house cleaner. That's what I do for a living. Like they don't understand.
Yeah.
I am the maid.
There's actually a really funny comment. I don't. Who is this from? Is this was it Colin Noir? Is that his name? The gun rights.
Colion Noir?
Colion.
Yeah.
And he said, I think it was him who said this, that the gun control arguments are the equivalent of like saying have the maid do it, or the self-defense equivalent of saying have the maid do it.
Oh, it's
People who
true.
live in like cities with access to resources and police departments, things that, you know, rural folk don't have.
Yeah.
You end up, well, so I don't want to go off on a tangent, but looking at this stuff of like Madonna calling it the great equalizer when she's so far removed from reality and has no idea what regular people deal with. But this is what's scary. These people with tons of money
Yeah.
think they know, and then they go out and invest and spend that money on politics to make things happen that have no real bearing on like regular people.
I'm pretty sure I saw a tweeter.
Twit.
Whatever. Twitter. Yeah, there we go. A tweet that Madonna actually did like some, you know, music video in her house with just like a phone. Someone was like recording
Yeah, she
her
had a
with some sort
hairbrush.
of light,
Yeah.
and she was just singing.
She's lost it.
And I just,
So cringe.
I just quickly scrolled right past. I was like, no,
Can't do it.
No, I'm
So
good. No.
remember what I was saying
No,
about
thanks.
like child actors?
Yeah.
So, you know, for those that may have missed it, basically the point I made, when you're a little kid and everyone in the world is saying telling you you're the best and you're famous and you're a star and they love you, it feels like that's normal.
Yeah.
And when you
that's
start
true.
from that position, as you grow up, you're trying to improve and do better, but you can't do better than world famous as one of these, you know, child actors or actresses. So the same thing
or
is
musicians, yeah.
right. The same thing is true for people who get famous at any point. Let's say, you know, Madonna was famous at a young age. Now she's getting older, and it's literally impossible for her to improve her standing because she's
Right.
Madonna.
Yeah.
But she's also losing her appeal in a lot of different ways. And I don't just mean her looks, like she, you know, injected her face full of Botox or whatever, which is kind of weird. But it's also that she's just not a relevant singer. Her music isn't relevant. Her personality isn't.
Yep.
And so now they're struggling, and they go crazy. They start trying to do whatever they can, you know, throwing bongs out windows or starting fires in driveways.
Where did that happen?
That was Amanda Bynes.
Oh.
Yeah, when she was like in her 20s, and so I don't know the full story. You know, the media loves to spin things, but apparently she threw a bong out the window in Times Square, something like that. I don't know.
Could have hurt somebody.
And then she got arrested for setting a fire in her neighbor's driveway, I guess. I don't know if that's all true, because you know how the media likes to play games.
Oh yeah.
So
She was committed for a while, wasn't she?
I don't know.
She was.
Amanda Bynes was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Too bad.
You also have to be careful because you never know who's litigious.
Yeah.
Here we go. Lionel Richie said he wants to make a new "We Are the World" for COVID-19 because it's
let's
exactly what we need right now.
Not do that. My gosh.
No. Oh, here we go. We got Jennifer Lopez continuously makes us feel poor by posting videos in her parasite-like home. We can't go out to any restaurants or anything, but the service and entertainment here is pretty good. Well, I can't really be mad at her for
It's
being rich.
her kid bringing her some drinks. Like, that's kind of cute. Actually.
Yeah. And just because she's rich, like, she's not, like, trying to pander to anybody. She's just making a little gag video from her house. So
Yeah.
I'll give her a pass on that one. It's not so bad.
Yeah, I
It's a
agree.
pass from us.
And look, it's ridiculously
It's the
large
size of a
and
football field.
Wow.
Cheesy Pete's.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
okay.
mad now. I love our
Here we go.
backyard
Don't be
now.
jealous.
I love our backyard.
We got a pretty
Yeah,
dope
man.
backyard.
What is this?
Oh no.
Priyanka Chopra clapped from a balcony at her huge empty yard.
What is she clapping at?
I don't know, but we're going to play it. We're going
I'm
to find
so
out what she did.
curious.
It's got almost 2 million views.
She's clapping for the people around the world.
What?
This is weird.
Says people around the world have shown their appreciation for the doctors, nurses, and first responders. So she's clapping for all the people, all the real heroes out there, but to her backyard.
This is the point I was making.
Not to
Listen,
the camera.
No, right.
Talking to like anyone who's
But
actually
this is the
a
point
hero
I'm-
that's watching.
This is the point I was
Just
making.
off.
That you take away their team, and then they're hollow shells.
Yeah.
Dude, there was this really viral video from like 10 years ago where they were like, how to make a pop star. Mm-hmm. And they basically just took beautiful women
Okay.
that couldn't sing,
Yeah.
auto-tuned everything, and they show you exactly how they do it.
Oh.
And at the end, they made like a snippet of like a pop star music video.
Yep.
They were like, it's all fake. You take
Yeah.
these women, you know, that they use as like pop stars, and they're talentless. Not all of them, you know.
Yep.
The ones that are really talented end up going really, really far.
I know
and
some
becoming really
models
big.
that they were attractive and they were like, "Oh man, I got this producer. He's going to do this thing for me." I mean, this is guys and girls, you know, not just
Yeah.
talking girls, but like none of them could sing. I was just like, "Oh gosh, I've heard you sing. No, please,
Doesn't
no."
matter.
But they're
No,
pretty.
but they're like, "Yeah, but I'm going to go places." I haven't heard anything from them since that time.
You know,
that's like
that's
10 years ago.
But I
It's
think
like,
that's
"Oh,
a
great job.
That's like a work ethic thing, if you were to ask me.
Really?
I think that's an issue of if you work hard enough and you keep digging, you know, you'll get to where you need to go.
Even if you're not a good musician,
Yes.
if you work hard enough as a musician, you'll make it somewhere.
Yep. Dude, have you listened to like who's that guy who like he's the rapper who auto-tunes literally everything he says?
Drake.
No. I don't know the guy's
I still
name.
like Drake.
No, I
But
don't
he
know.
like popularized heavy auto-tuning so it
Oh.
sounds like you're a robot.
Oh, I know. who you're
But the
talking
point I'm making is people like his music.
Yeah.
Even though he's not good vocally.
You made it work.
Hey man,
Hey,
figure it out.
if
Figure
it
it
works
out.
for you.
It's kind of like, you know,
Sure.
if you're not tall enough to reach the top shelf, you get a stool. You know, you put on some stilts. Now
there
you
you
can
go.
reach it, right?
Yeah, sure.
So if your voice is terrible, then you hire people to prop you up. Or more importantly, a lot of these people are just models. It's like you get an attractive guy or an attractive woman,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I need you to say this. And they go, okay. So like, you know, Trevor Noah, you put him in front of a teleprompter and he talks.
Yeah. Put
This-
him in front of a camera with no teleprompter in his house.
And it's
Oof.
like,
Oof.
but
oof.
even that was still partly scripted, you know?
Oh, okay.
So I'll tell
I
you.
didn't see it, so I don't know if it's good or bad, to be honest. So I don't know.
Here's how you see talent, right? Ryan Reynolds films a little video and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's true.
These nightly hosts are struggling in their bedrooms.
it was 1 minute long.
and it was great.
Super easy. It's not like he was hosting a show. Like these other people are actually hosting their show.
And it's
You know,
their propped
45
up.
minute long,
Yep.
like an actual show. It's like you should. I think you should prep for that. You know.
Yeah.
Not that we prep very much.
All right, let's see what BuzzFeed's got for us. Idris Elba's wife decided to take the corona test even though the tests are in short supply and she knew her husband had it.
And she tested positive.
What?
I don't know. There people have been complaining all like nonstop that it's really difficult to get a test.
Yeah.
And they want to know in case their risk is going to go up, and like these hospitals saying we're saving it for people that we need to know for sure.
Right. So
I honestly find it weird because the people who aren't showing symptoms are the ones who actually need the test. Like if you got the symptoms, you probably got it. Let's, if your symptoms get worse,
Quarantine
take you to the
yourself.
hospital.
Right. Yeah.
Or quarantine yourself if you're sick. Anyway, like, if you're sick, don't go out.
Yeah,
I
you
don't care
really
if you got a
only
cold
need to
or
go to
not.
the hospital if you start getting the.
Shortness of breath.
What,
right?
I don't remember the stuff that forms in your lungs, but that's what's causing you not to be able to breathe, and that's when it becomes a problem. That's when
Dude.
you need to go to the hospital.
Look at this. Drake tried to make us feel bad for his quarantine situation by showing his private full-sized basketball court.
Oh my
Aw.
gosh, seriously.
This is what I'm saying
He
about
said,
Drake.
my life for the next however long.
Oh, poor Drake, the
Is-
Canadian
what is
rapper.
this?
Wow, it's like a movie.
No, this is
theater.
him showing off.
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah,
It's,
man.
it's so for those that are listening, it's
Hey,
like
I'm not gonna lie. I posted a picture of my skateboard when I was about to drop in, and I was just a little showing off a little bit. Like, this is what I'm doing
It's
right
true.
now.
You are a out of touch celebrity, Adam.
I guess I am. But I had a good
dude, I
time
love this
skating
one.
that ramp, though. I'll
Wait,
tell
wait.
you that.
Look at this.
Here's our floorbow.
Our floorbow.
Yes.
Oh, the floorbow breakdown.
Sam Smith documented Floorbow's breakdown. So I do want to make sure I explain the Floorbow thing to people who don't get it.
Of course.
So, Sam Smith has come out as non-binary, and Floorbow wants you to use Floorbow's pronouns. Well, I won't use words that other people tell me I have to use. I'll use whatever words I want. But
Don't tell me what to do.
But I will respect Floorbow's desire not to be misgendered.
Right.
So I will use the pronoun Floorbow for anybody who uses an atypical pronoun for one simple reason. Some people might be offended by if I was to say they. If someone came to me and said, I want you to refer to me as they, someone else might be like, that's offensive to me. So how do I avoid offending everybody? Floorbow.
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 Yep.
It just rolls off the tongue.
It's meant to be.
Floorbow.
It's meant to be a
Social
soft,
balm.
inoffensive sound.
Floorbow.
Floorbow.
So soothing.
Brought to you
So
by
so anyway,
Floorbow.
Floorbow.
Sam Smith documented Floorbow's breakdown. The dude was
Floorbow breakdown.
The floorbow.
the Floorbow.
Yes.
No, women are dudes too. The dude was crying
Oh,
in.
no.
I can't do the pronoun thing. I'm sorry. Sam Smith was crying in his house
There you
as he
go.
documented his breakdown because he's a guy and he listen, man. I'm gonna go there.
Oh, no.
You can't just say like, oh, by the way, I'm non-binary. It's like, dude, you've got a beard, and you're like a guy. Like you're doing nothing to be non-binary. Like you can't just.
He kind of
you know,
looks
man.
like the chubby Floorbow Justin Timberlake in these pictures.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
But he's
yeah.
but he's
clearly
a dude.
Justin's a dude.
Yeah.
So's Floorbow.
Floorbow.
can
Look,
I
man,
say?
there's a difference between someone who's actually trans,
Yeah.
or is experiencing dysphoria or something, and you're asking for simple respect. It's another thing if you're just one of these trendy dudes.
Jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, that you're just like, oh, by the way, from now on, you have to call me that. It's like I actually don't, and I'm
it's
not
an
gonna.
authority thing. You
Right.
have to call me this.
But you can
because
get banned
that's
from
where I
Twitter
am.
for it.
Really?
Yeah, if you misgender.
yeah.
So
It's
there's a
happened.
rapper named Zuby,
Okay.
and he responded to someone, "Okay, dude," and
Yeah.
they suspended
They
him.
suspended
And now
him.
it's no. I actually follow Zuby. He
Yeah,
posts
Zuby's
some
cool.
good stuff, but
It
was
now
great.
he's got shirts that okay, dude.
Yeah, all they say is okay,
It's
dude.
pretty great.
Capitalism is a beautiful thing, man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go. Bella Hadid told us to stay inside while she ate a burrito
I
topless.
don't understand this.
What?
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 Wait. Here we go. What's this?
What is the point of that?
Katy. Oh, look at this. Katy Perry posted a fake video of Italians singing "Roar" from their balconies.
A fake
What?
video.
Now, was that her just promoting her song?
Sounds
Is
like
that
it.
Roar is one of her videos?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
one of
know.
her songs.
I don't know
Yeah.
Yep.
her music.
Lucky
so
you.
Yep. Jamie King made a bizarre video thanking the coronavirus, like the literal virus, for bringing people together. These people are nuts, man.
What?
Jinx.
These people are crazy.
Seriously?
This is incredible. I
Thank
love it.
you for sharing.
Who's Jamie King?
shaking us?
Oh, not Evangeline Lilly. No.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
bragged about
dude.
not socially
She's basically
distancing.
an anti-vaxxer.
Man, I don't know who
at this
any-
point.
Really?
half of these people are. Seriously,
Yeah.
like.
She's the Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never
don't
knew
know
her
who that
name.
is.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Just dropped my kids off at gymnastics camp. They all washed their hands before going in. They are playing and laughing, business as usual.
In gymnastics camp where everyone's flipping around,
Covered in
and
sweat.
sweating,
Yep.
and like
Yep.
grabbing handlebars. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
Here we go.
What?
Jennifer Aniston posted a picture of her dog having deep thoughts while quarantining.
It's cute.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it's not so
that
bad.
one.
That's
I
whatever.
like
That's
that one.
okay.
It's cute.
Arnold Schwarzenegger told us to social distance from his jacuzzi while smoking a cigar.
Hey.
No,
Hey.
there's a better one. He's sitting on his couch and he's got this little tiny dog sitting next to him.
That's cute.
And he's like, yeah, don't be like, I don't remember the dog's name because the mini donkey walks up to him.
What?
And the little dog like goes, "Arr, arr, arr,"
At the
at the donkey.
Whoa!
And
Slow
he's like,
down. Slow
Don't
down.
be like the little dog. Be like the donkey. And I'm like, that was amazing. Like, what did I just watch? So
Wait,
Arnold's
he's
Arnold's
actually-
putting out some good stuff. I got.
He has something better. But
Oh,
go
yeah.
on. Yeah.
He has a
go on.
donkey.
Actually, I think it's a mini horse, like little Sebastian from Parks and Rec. I don't know if you guys are Parks and Rec fans.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's happening.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
So some celebrities are doing it right. I gotta give it to him.
Schwarzenegger started a foundation and he's donating $500,000 to medical supplies.
Boom.
So he's got my full
Arnold,
respect on
I
that one.
already
Yeah,
was
man.
all about what Arnold is doing.
With
But
the little horse.
The little horse.
Dude, I love it.
I think he's got two actually.
Oh my
Really?
God, of course
But
he
I'm not
does.
sure on the
Man.
second one, but I know he's
in
got
Hollywood,
one.
For sure,
That's awesome.
Man. Oh man.
Kylie Jenner revealed that staying in the house for months while she was pregnant, which is totally relatable, prepared her for the quarantine.
Who?
Oh. I
I'm
don't-
just kidding.
She's one of these people
I
that they're
unfortunately know who she is.
they're famous for being famous.
Yeah.
Or having someone who's famous in their family.
Several famous
Oh, yeah,
people
it's
in
like
the family.
That's-
2
That's
degrees
what that
of
is.
your
Caitlyn
fame.
Jenner.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm on day 8. My pregnancy prepared me for this. I didn't leave the house for months.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Oh, Elon.
Elon, please.
Elon, what have you done?
He changed his tune and
The
he's donating a
coronavirus
bunch-
panic is dumb.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
doing
well, hold
ventilators.
on.
He did change the factory into making respirators.
hold on.
now,
He did, yeah.
ventilators.
He's not wrong. The
The
panic
the
is
panic
dumb.
is a little
itself is
crazy.
dumb.
You're
It's
right.
dumb.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I think people are just trying to drag him because he said the panic was dumb. But dude, he's right.
The panic was dumb, and
Dude,
also
there's-
the
okay.
dumb people are dumb.
That's true as well.
There
Good
was a-
point.
there's a-
Multiple
there's-
layers there.
I'm going to narrate for all of you a meme.
Ooh,
Oh no.
It was hilarious.
go on.
It was on Twitter when people were talking about the coronavirus, and the top was, Grandpa, what did you do during the great coronavirus pandemic? And he said, I had a very dangerous job. I was a tail gunner for a Charmin shipping truck.
Oh my God.
And the picture is a truck with toilet paper on the side and a mounted tail gun, like 50 cal.
Yeah. That was pretty great.
I wish
So
we could
yes,
pull it up. I wish
the
we
I
panic-
really wanted that to be
Oh.
true.
Tail gunner.
Tail gunner.
Dude,
man.
the panic is dumb. I got to agree with Elon on this one. BuzzFeed, nah, it's not okay. Elon was right. The panic is insane. People rushing in to fight over toilet paper.
Yeah, it's true.
But now apparently, like you were saying, people who don't have any.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
I got a buddy of mine out in Arizona who's just like, I don't have anything. I don't have any toilet paper. I didn't stock up, and now there's no toilet paper anywhere he goes. He's like straight up goes to
What is this?
every store to find toilet paper, and it's
I love
just
it.
like
Well, yeah, because everyone
Dude.
panic bought.
there's
And
You know-
not
you know-
paying attention.
Listen,
there's
Yeah, it's
everything
gone.
else is available.
When
just
we-
no toilet paper.
When we went to the store, and I felt like a king moseying on through the bean aisle.
Yeah.
With no obstruction in sight and beans galore, and we loaded up our cart with all of the variety of
That's
beans.
true. There
In
was
fact,
no one in the food
No.
aisles.
No,
I didn't even think about that. There was
but-
like a lone straggler here and
Right.
there, but not really.
But we even got this little bag. It's really great. It's called, what is it called? Like a bean medley. It's a
Yeah,
variety
it's a
of
I love that.
a variety of beans.
Sounds like
Gotta
a
love
musical
the
melody.
bean medley.
Yet when we went to the toilet paper aisle,
There's
it
no
was stripped
freaking
bare.
toilet paper.
With
Like,
still people in there thinking they were like, they were doing this.
Where's the
yeah,
toilet
dude.
paper?
Yeah, I know.
Like maybe I'll find some if I
Do
look a
this.
little harder.
So I just thought of a great expectation versus reality meme. The expectation in the zombie apocalypse is like zombies fighting people and people running,
Yeah.
and the reality is the zombies rushing the toilet paper aisle while other people are shrugging like, "What are you doing?"
I guess zombies they survive on toilet paper.
Maybe. All right, here's the big finale. Kim Kardashian
Oh,
tried to
gosh.
tell us to take social distancing seriously, even though she wasn't socially distancing herself. Is that it? Well, the first ones were funny, and it kind of went downhill.
Kim
Makes sense, though.
Kardashian.
But
Yeah.
we do have the ultimate celebrity psychosis. I hope you are all ready for this.
Oh man.
Comrade Britney Spears.
Yes!
This is hilarious.
I love it.
Comrade Britney.
Just the fact that they call her Comrade Britney Spears. Comrade Spears.
Comrade Spears calls for wealth redistribution. General strike amid coronavirus pandemic. Okay, if you're a celebrity and you want to come out and say something dumb, I'm going to make fun of you.
And here's how you do it.
But
Thank
hold
you,
on.
Brittany.
No,
Thanks
hold
for
on.
showing us.
But if you're a communist and you say something dumb, I will
going to make fun of
especially
you.
come out to make fun of you. Now, if you combine all of those things and
Yeah.
you're a celebrity, she's not really a communist, that's being mean, but she is going pretty commie, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, already I can hear the screaming hordes of lefties being like, they're not real communists. Well, I know they're not real communists. Calm down. I'm making fun of her. They're calling her Comrade Britney in the article. That's the joke. She wants wealth
I also have to
redistribution.
notice. I noticed that the
Jeez.
amid. it's going around. Everyone's using this word amid.
I know. I noticed
It's
that.
in every news
Amid the
thing,
breakout.
everything.
Right.
It's hilarious.
I use the word because we're in the midst
in the midst of it.
of a coronavirus pandemic.
That's the next one that's to come. Anyway, go on.
All right, here we go. You ready for this? Instead of just give me more, she wants to give everyone more.
Oh, nice.
Comrade Britney Spears shared an Instagram post Monday calling for wealth redistribution and a general strike either during or following the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm going to read this post, but can I just say the last thing we need is a general strike? Like, the economy is...
Yeah, who's going to strike? The only people working are the essentials.
The people we desperately need.
Please don't strike. We need you to
toilet
work.
paper.
And you're
Come
doing
on.
a great job. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Everyone's already out of work.
Yeah.
If we put people back to work and they went and started striking...
The economy would keep going down, wouldn't it?
It would just
Aren't
be
we trying to
done.
turn that around?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
All of us are.
Here's what Britney Spears said to her 23.6 million followers.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
During this time of isolation, we need connection now more than ever. Call your loved ones, write virtual love letters. Technologies like virtual communication, streaming, and broadcasting are part of our community collaboration. We will learn to kiss and hold each other through the waves of the web. We will feed each other, redistribute wealth, strike. That's a very strange turn.
Yeah, I was just
Like,
going to
wait,
say, like,
what?
whoa. It actually wasn't that bad until that. Like, wait a minute.
We will understand our own importance from the places we must stay. Communion moves beyond walls. We can still be together. Mimi Zoo? Who's Mimi Zoo?
Yeah,
That's
you
not
know
even
what?
her.
It's weird. It's like the bill they're trying to pass. It's got
slipped
good,
in
but then
there.
then there's
That's-
this like sentence,
Dude,
this
you
whole
get-
big chunk.
You can get me riled up. You
Sorry,
can get me started.
no, don't get riled up.
Don't
I'm
do
sorry,
it.
my bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm a
Next topic.
backpedal.
No. It's
No.
the
But I'm right,
floodgates-
though.
The floodgates have been lifted.
No.
They
late.
say the singer reposted the text originally shared by user Mimi Zoo, which read in part, "We will feed each other, redistribute wealth, strike. We will understand our own importance from the places we must stay." Spears, 38, captioned the post, "Communion goes beyond walls," with 3 red rose emojis. That emoji is also commonly used by Democratic Socialists of America.
Yep.
The rose symbol, period, is the socialist symbol.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know that.
it's the 2 hands shaking, and there's a rose behind it. It's the socialist
utopian.
symbol.
Oh, okay.
Right. One commenter called Spears the queen of proletariat,
Mm-hmm.
while another dubbed her queen of communion and communism. Who knew toxic was really about capitalism?
Ooh.
So let's see if we can pull up some of these comments here. Look at this. One of them was General Strike. I can't read any of these. It's just people. Here we go. Redistribute wealth is key right now. Oh man. Queen of post-capitalism. Love you, Brittany.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and then people are tagging the other person. So I'll tell you what, man.
Ugh.
This is a really good example of what they've been doing with these bills for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
you brought it up, so I'm going to say it.
Hey,
Here we go.
But check it
that's
out.
what I see. It's pretty blaring to me.
Yeah.
That right now, so I don't know where we're at so far. Maybe they agreed on a bill or something. They voted
Who
on
knows?
it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
who
sure the
knows?
people in the comments will probably clarify for us.
Yeah.
But for a week, the Republicans were working on a bill, and apparently they negotiated it. And then at the last minute, when it came to vote, the
Yeah.
Democrats struck it down. And then they came back with this bill. And here's what really bothers me: all of these news outlets, they reported on it as though the Democrats want to give you $3,000 a month, but the Republicans only want to give you $1,200 one time. And I'm like, that's not the complaint from the Republicans. The complaint is that in the middle of it is this, like, we want to hug and love everyone and communism, and then we're going to be great friends for the rest of our lives and strike and make a bunch of money and give it away.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's they're saying the quiet part, and that's exactly what this post, it says. Like, it starts off with people being like, oh yeah, that's so great, and then right in the middle,
Boom.
and communism.
Strike. Yep.
It's
Also
like,
communism.
Oh, well, what does that mean? Well, I'll keep reading, and yeah, sure, that was great. And then I'll share it without really understanding what that
Right, without
sentence
thinking
means.
about it.
I wonder how
Right.
many times this was shared.
And the other funny thing too is it's like we're gonna kiss and hold each other through the waves of the web.
Also communism.
Is it?
Yeah, that sounds a little idealistic. So that would be what I would expect from someone who likes communism.
This is just look. I don't think she knows what she's talking about.
well, that's possible. She's. A
I'll tell
celebrity.
you exactly what's happening with these celebrities with social media. They're chasing each other off a cliff,
Yeah.
constantly one-upping each other, trying to be the next Shockwave. So
Yeah.
I'll just say, all of these celebrities, all of their posts, and especially Britney Spears's, it's the equivalent of licking a toilet seat.
It's the celebrity toilet
It's
challenge.
it's the toilet licking challenge.
Yeah.
So
okay.
what ends up happening is, here's what I think. Regular people aren't on social media, right?
Right.
They're off minding their own business, working or whatever. Most Americans are not on Twitter.
Most of the time.
So you get someone like Britney Spears, and she's watching everyone say stuff. So then she jumps in, but has to one up everything that's been said before. And then someone sees her 23 million followers, and so they have to start from where she is and one up her. Now we're at the point where celebrities are like, redistribute wealth. Yeah. You're like, what does that have to do with your pop capitalism music?
Well, I don't see any other celebrities calling out for redistribution of wealth. Just Britney Spears. And it's
No,
like,
there's a decent amount.
oh, is there?
I mean, it's not just that. It's like Madonna once said that I can't even repeat what she said.
Oh, really?
She was at a rally in D.C. and said something about, let me just put it this way. She wanted to cause physical harm to the White House.
She was doing slam poetry about
And
it.
then she said, oh, no, I actually was speaking figuratively. I didn't mean it literally.
Is it something along the lines of that Offspring song that suddenly disappeared?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Very much
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
We were
more
talking about earlier.
explosives.
Ah.
Right.
Yes.
Worse than that.
Yes.
Oh,
I have
my.
thought an awful lot about
So I
doing
will mention
something.
that, too. Many people might not know this, but punk rock band, The Offspring,
Yes.
have a song from their self-titled album, and I can't say the name of that song.
Yeah.
And they actually got rid of it.
Yeah, I don't.
Voldemort.
And,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's kind
crazy.
of crazy because it's like,
I have that album somewhere too in my stuff.
Bring it out. We gotta listen to that.
So where do you-
I wonder if it's still on there.
we should take bets on like where you think the next celebrity is going to go. You know what I mean?
Like
Like,
to one up Britney here.
so here's what I think is happening. It's not just they're one-upping each other. It's that the people who have no lives, like you've got these really weird socialist people. They're
Yeah.
obviously not working. It's probably why they're socialists, or there's some kind of correlation. And so they're sitting on the internet spamming away and saying nonsensical garbage.
yeah.
So, you tweet more, you're more likely to be seen, right? So all of a sudden, people like Britney, they go on Twitter, and what do they see? Waves and waves of socialists, because those are the ones who have no jobs, who spend all their time on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Then she and all these other celebrities are like, that's what people like. Ooh, socialism. So what's the next thing? I mean, you see all this Tumblr stuff? It's like weird stuff.
I don't think I've ever been on Tumblr. I don't know.
You know what Tumblr gender is?
I don't know if I really want to know.
No, it's like on
I guess you're
it's
gonna
where
have
all
to
this
tell
stuff
me.
comes from.
Really?
So there's
It's
like a-
from Tumblr.
Yeah, there's like a list of 1,000
Isn't
genders.
it just pictures or something?
No, it's
Oh.
blogs. It's like
Text posts.
Oh.
yeah, text posts, pictures,
What am I thinking of then? What's
Pictures?
like the only pictures?
Instagram.
Instagram.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I know
no.
you're on
just-
Instagram all the time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
I know.
I thought Tumblr was just a bunch of pictures that people like pin or something.
So
I don't know.
all of this
I don't know
stuff,
anything about Tumblr.
like multi-gender stuff.
yeah,
There's a list of I think like 2,000 or 3,000 genders.
3,000
Thousands.
different genders.
Thousands of genders. Yeah.
Wow.
There's funny ones. There's like my favorite was hydrogender.
Hydro.
Hydrogender. It says a gender that's fluid like water, and I'm just like that doesn't mean anything. That's
Hmm.
not even a thing. But I think it was Shoe on Head. You know who she is? You know Leah. You know Shoe, right?
I'm familiar.
Yeah,
Nope.
June.
I have no clue.
She's like a big YouTuber, and I'm pretty sure it was her, and I think Armored Skeptic. These are both YouTubers.
Okay.
And they went through the list of like thousands of genders.
Oh, really?
Just reading them.
Just reading them all.
And that was entertainment content. To like, I'll tell you what, man. There's like some of it makes no sense.
yeah.
So there's, now that we're getting into it, I guess, like New York, for instance, has 31 recognized genders, and some of them are the exact same.
Really?
But I'll bring this up because it kind of like we're creating a path here from Britney Spears as being a communist into the law. When these people go on social media and say this stupid trash, and then other people hear it, they then go demand it, and politicians see it and then go, "You got it," and then enact Tumblr genders as law.
I saw a comment. Someone said it's Pinterest. That's what I was thinking of.
Pinterest.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Whoever
my bad. I don't
posted
I
that
hate
up.
Pinterest.
See,
What?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know either one. But yeah, Pinterest. You pin your
You pin-
interests.
oh.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
but I guess Pinterest,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Tumblr.
Pinterest
then.
is like
I have
where
no idea.
like people run Etsy businesses or something. They
Yeah.
they pin photos and then you click it and you can buy the product or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sure.
Tumblr is
Sure,
where everyone has some kind of neurological disorder,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not making that up. They put in their like bios like I have all of these mental illnesses.
What's it called?
Mental illnesses.
Neuroatypical?
Yes.
Yes.
So here's the thing.
Oh, man.
They're literally competing to be the most mentally ill.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating. And then they say stuff like this, and that's why you see celebrities like Britney being communists now.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's-
So it goes from Tumblr to celebrities to politicians.
Well,
Or
it's
Tumblr
Twitter.
to Twitter to celebrities.
Yeah.
So I'll
To
put it this way.
politicians.
Yeah.
Here's what
I
I
like
here,
that.
it's actually really simple. There's an economic incentive here. news organizations want to hire journalists with lots of followers
Okay.
because their gamble is if you write a story and you get a bunch of followers, you'll tweet it out. It'll get traffic, we'll make money.
Yeah, you're more of an influencer.
How do you get followers? You lick toilet seats.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't. The woman who did that didn't get followers for the most part, but
Right.
you do things like that.
Yeah.
So these journalists on Twitter then start creating insane, just lunacy, because it attracts people to follow them,
Just trying to get crazy.
and then they can go to a company and say, "I got 20,000 followers." Yep. And then
I want to get my followers the old-fashioned way.
The normal
just-
way.
Just by doing the
Yeah.
same stuff I do every
There
day
you go.
anyway.
yeah, that's what I do.
But here's what happens when the news organizations then start writing this insane, pro-communist stuff. Then other celebrities start seeing it and it starts spreading.
I mean, this is the Daily News.
You know what, man?
I mean, I
Britney's
don't
got,
know. I don't know if the Daily News posts like legitimate stuff all the time, but
Hey,
do
they're
they?
certified.
You would know.
They are green
so they're
check
certified.
certified.
So
Yeah.
that means it's true.
There's that
I don't
green
think
check.
Britney Spears knows anything about wealth redistribution. I don't even think she knows what that means. She's probably she's sitting in some very expensive, big room, and she's got her iPhone and she's going like tick, tick,
Or
one,
she's like,
one button at a
she's
time,
got
like
all
we
her,
need
all her yes
communism.
men around her, or yes.
Well, I think
People.
I don't know if she's still like owned by her dad or whatever, conservatorship
yeah.
or something. Like
Yeah.
that was a thing that
Well,
happened
because she
to
was
her.
The
like a
Guardian.
teenager or something when she got famous, or what?
I don't know how it works.
She
I don't know
went
a
off
lot
the
about it.
rails.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
because she went off the
I
rails.
thought that
Is
was
that
why
it?
she had a guardian. 'Cause she
Ah.
went off the deep
Interesting.
end. Yeah.
Do you think there's a correlation between like Britney Spears being crazy and communism?
Maybe.
I love ragging on communism.
Yeah, man. It is a mental deficiency.
All right. Well, we're going to jump to the super chats,
All
but
right,
Yeah.
here
we
go.
do have the next story coming up is about women in the draft. And it's funny because we just did a segment about this a week ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
And now the new story is back up because there's new conversations.
They're actually thinking about doing it again.
Yeah.
and feminists nowhere to be found, right?
Yeah.
So we got 1,000,001 super chats. So
Let's read them all.
I'm going to try, but I think we're going to have to.
You can do
Go
it,
quick.
Tim. Go, go, go.
All right, Matty Bone says, is Pelosi trying to be remembered as America's Nero? Hope all is well with you, Soy Jesus and Miss Lydia.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if she wants to be. I don't think she cares. Like
Yeah.
this, I got to be honest,
I don't
man.
think she cares about us.
I don't see this bill getting blocked. I don't see people being confused as to what happened. They know the Democrats blocked the relief package.
Yeah.
And then here's what I said. Listen, I don't care what your politics are. I reached out to a progressive guy I know, and I said, how do you justify a 1,404-page bill when we need an emergency relief package right now?
Yeah, exactly.
And they responded with like, this is crazy. And I'm like, everybody gets it.
Yep.
Jim St. Armor says, we want you. Yes, we can. Hope and change. It's her turn. Now we can add, quote, I'm alive to history's greatest rallying cries. So for those that don't know the reference,
Feel so rallied.
I kid you not, The Atlantic wrote an article that said, Joe Biden, it said, stay alive, Joe Biden. All we need is your corporeal presence.
Nice.
The whole article
Oh my God.
ragged on Biden
That's nuts.
while it was trying to justify Biden's role right now in the presidential race.
He's a ghost.
But they were like, he has no campaign strategy, no resources, no followers, no crowds, no audiences. But that doesn't matter because people want to vote against Trump, so we just need him to live.
And they don't want to vote for Bernie, so
There's the tagline. Vote for Joe Biden. He's alive.
He is alive.
Wow.
he's a living human being.
Is
That
he, though?
isn't Trump.
Dakota Dad says, Patricia Arquette scolded me on Twitter for supporting the president in 3 tweets. It was surreal. I checked, and it was her. I don't think she likes me. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
A badge of honor.
All
Josh,
right, Dakota Dad.
thanks for coming to member, Josh.
Thank
Agent
you.
says, if you watch Boris Johnson's quarantine video, it was very clear and easy to understand. I wish we could do something like that here. The restrictions in the U.S. are confusing and vague. Yeah, they seriously are.
true.
Stigma says, hey, Tim, I never got my super chat read as they are often late and cheap. Do you ever do some sort of supercharging catch-up? Well, right now, we've got more stream viewers than we've ever had, and it seems to be the case. When we first started, when we were reading super chats, we only had a couple thousand people, and it was easy to read everything.
Yeah.
But now, so many people are coming in, and, I thank you all for watching. It's amazing. But it gets harder and harder because it just goes too fast. So at a certain point, we have to prioritize, and I apologize to anybody if we can't get to your comments.
True that.
The White Matt Studio says, thank goodness for you guys doing these live sessions. Keep doing what you do and stay healthy. Much love to Soy Jesus. Man, people really love Soy
Thank
Jesus.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love it.
I feel the love, and I love you guys too.
I'm loving it.
I'm having a great time on the show, and it's great. So thank
Christian
you.
says, thoughts on VR, buy now or wait? I don't know.
I got a PSVR and it is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I actually haven't tried the
experiences,
Oculus.
So the Oculus Quest, I think it is, the one that is like got no
cordless
cables.
one?
That is amazing.
The cords never bothered me. I mean, I have the, you don't have cords on the handles.
Dude.
I played Skyrim VR. It is incredible. I played co-op, some co-op like shooting games with a couple buddies of mine, and it is so fun to be in a virtual world, seeing your buddy, and we're like, hey, that's you. We're like pointing our guns at each other, like, yeah, shooting in the air. It's awesome.
Skyrim VR is incredible.
It's definitely the future of gaming, though.
But we are so close to having cordless. So I've read this. You can actually side load Skyrim into the Oculus Quest.
Oh.
In like it's low quality.
Oh.
But I don't think it's that bad. Like people are actually able to pull it off. But there's other ways you can do it. You can stream the video too. But I think they banned this.
Interesting.
Someone hacked it so that you could stream digital, like you could wirelessly stream your monitor to the Oculus Quest and play.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I see. That way. All right.
I tried playing. So I tried playing the Oculus with the big cable going down my back, but it's like you're limited.
Yeah.
Once you play the Quest and you're like spinning in circles and jumping, it's like, wow, dude, it's amazing. And you have a big yard.
Well, PS5 is coming soon, and there's rumors of PSVR 2 that's going to come out for PS5, and I'm sure it's going to be wireless.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to try to do something like that.
All right, let's read some more. Before we do, though, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button so you get notified when we do the show.
Yeah.
Wolf Spain says, as I said before, Tim, you are stuck with us till the bitter end. Yeah, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Shield TV, thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Min-Max says, Tim, did you spill soup or gumbo on your shirt? No.
No, it's a reflection on your button, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Where?
it's on the upper.
Whatever.
It's not a big deal. It's fine.
Let's see. HX Bo. That's a great name. What? Big BP Gang. Love you, Tim. Stay safe. All right. You
Not
get a shout
me.
out. Lee Wilson, no message. I just appreciate your daily podcast. Thanks, Milk Toast Fence Sitter. I do my best to sit where I am. What does it say? Oh, Dark Duck says soy celebrities. There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
Star Ranger. Thoughts on ID 2020 RFID chips, vaccines coming October. Will you take it or resist? Is that do you mean like the coronavirus vaccines or something?
I don't know. I did see something about us being chipped soon.
I
mean,
they've
been talking about chipping.
Is that what that is? I don't know what that is.
So there have been people who have voluntarily gotten chip implants, like how cats do and stuff. It's a bad idea.
Why?
Well, I don't know what the latest chips are, but there is potentially a risk if you have to get an MRI or something, and you've got a metal, embedded under your skin.
Rip it right out.
Rip it right out. It gets really hot, and then. So I've heard stories about that. I don't know a whole lot.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to get chipped.
There have been people who have done it, but the problem is, early on there was this big push for people to get chips implanted in their hands, like between their thumb and their index finger.
Like a passport or something?
Yeah, and then you could walk up to doors, and just when you grab it, the door opens.
Okay.
And then we invented cell phones. So
oh yeah.
That's way better.
So it was before
Yeah.
cell phones?
yeah, so now all of a sudden it's like you can just press a button on your phone and the door opens.
Right.
So it's like, do we really need to? Some people are still doing it. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to do it.
I agree.
Now, if we get like the Neuralink stuff, I'll be first in line.
Really?
After it's FDA approved, of course.
Okay.
Are you serious, dude? Neuralink?
All right.
You were just talking about virtual reality Skyrim.
I know, but I'm not saying I have anything against it. I thought the last time we talked about it, you were a little not
What?
sure about
On
it.
the fence.
No way,
Tim?
dude.
Oh,
No
really?
way.
I was like, plug me in, put me in Skyrim, and never
Yeah, that's
bother me
right.
again.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
never move again.
I'm not coming out of my
Finish
room.
work and be like,
Yeah.
I will retire in 2 seconds, and I will be the greatest ranger in all of Skyrim, leader of the Nords or whatever.
oh, okay, so you side with the Nords?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care. I just want to shoot fireballs at dragons, and no one can get me out of my room at that point. No, but it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great. And then you got to think about what else comes with Neuralink stuff,
Yeah.
like hooking a computer to your brain. Then you can just walk up to the door, and the door will open for you.
Yeah.
You don't got to think. I mean, we can do that now, but there'll be security access, and it'd be way easier. You could just think a word, but then you could also
I do not want that.
telepathy, dude. You could think to someone else's Neuralink, and then they know what you're thinking.
No.
Cool.
And then how long until the best part is? I'm excited for this. I'd imagine it's only 20 years until we're fully assimilated into the Borg.
Yep.
Boom.
That's what I'm going
There you
for.
go.
We are the Borg.
So the story of the Borg in Star Trek, I could be wrong, was that they were very much like humans, and medical technology kept expanding and integrating until they eventually formed a hive.
Oh,
But they
wow.
do have a queen, I guess, so it was like someone took over or something.
Well, that was the voice of the Borg, wasn't it?
The Queen?
Like the Queen? I don't
She
know.
she was an individual.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the rest were drones that like served her or something.
I don't remember that
Yeah.
episode. It's been so long.
Well, I think that was the movie actually.
Oh, it was in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which one of the movies? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
ZZ, thanks for becoming a member. Deadly Bobom says, "Hi Tim, Daddy, Soyges, and Voice from the Void."
What up?
Ah, yes, Voice from the Void.
Nice.
Evan S says, "Hey Tim, I like your work even though I'm a trad Catholic. Would you have H.A. Goodman on the show? I do not know who that is."
Let me look
But
that
we'll look
person
it up.
up. Yeah.
Wugnut became a member. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Josh Rush says, "Everyone complains about having to stay home and limit social gatherings, but I'm okay with. I've been doing this for a year already. And I, doing my show and now doing this show, we don't leave anyway. We just,
Indeed.
but we have a skate park in the backyard, so."
Also true.
And a garden that I'm working on. It's
And a
all
garden.
good. Yeah.
Just Us says, "Pick one, rapid herd immunity or flatten the curve." Yeah, I think the UK wanted to do rapid herd immunity,
Yeah, right.
but they backpedaled fast
I don't know
because
how
they were
that
like,
would work.
too many people die too
Yeah,
fast.
dude.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's a good idea because we still don't know enough about it.
If we had
Right.
a ventilator for every single person,
Yeah, I
we
think
might
it's
be able to try that.
better to just
We do not have that. They
flatten
have
the
even
curve.
less. Yeah.
It's better.
Did I pronounce that right? McLeod says,
John McLeod?
MacLeod?
Yeah.
McLeod?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
"Time for the holy word of Pim Tool and receive the greatness of Beanie Father, Soy Jesus, and Holy Unseen."
Yay.
Tim, I also emailed you an article of the possibility of 2 coronaviruses from 2 different animals and made COVID-19. Interesting. They have talked about that before. We saw those
There are 2
articles.
strains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually being tracked by, I think, epidemiologists showing a split at some point. So it might be similar but different.
Someone in the chat actually asked to talk about the Hanta virus,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's actually
Hantavirus?
Hanta virus.
I think it's Hantavirus.
So that actually has been around for a long
But
time.
it's not new.
It's not new. It's from vermin.
Yeah.
Rats.
It is zoonotic.
You have to get their blood or saliva
It's
or
dried
poop
urine.
into your
Ooh.
system.
Yeah.
So it doesn't spread through human to human contact.
Right.
And it's been around, so you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Unless you go around into the sewers and play with rats or something.
If you're eating rats, you might
Don't do
have
that.
something to.
Don't eat
worry
bats.
about.
Don't eat rats.
All right.
Those are the rules.
It's a pretty
Let's
simple
grab some
rule.
more super chats, but I will also mention you can follow us, me there and Adam there,
Oh yeah.
at Timcast, at Adam Krigler,
Follow me.
Twitter, Instagram,
There's
etc.
me. Tweet at me.
So,
Send me some
but I
messages.
bring this up because if you do have story ideas, like Adam was mentioning, people are asking about hantavirus, you can
Yep.
tweet at him and send him messages, and
Yeah.
then we will.
Yeah, hit me up.
Here we go. Tara Olson says, "OMG, those without laugh tracks, you find out who's funny. Conan O'Brien is the only one who is funny." And that's one of the reasons, like, he's doing a podcast, doing his independent show.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
many
yeah.
of these
Independent
people are
stuff.
just not funny.
Yeah, who does the Tonight Show? With Jimmy Fallon. So Jimmy Fallon was doing a show, and he was reading tweets about the coronavirus or something, and you see him hold it up, and he starts giggling. He's like, ha ha, ha, oh, and he looks over to his laptop and hits the laugh track, and the laugh track hits,
Yeah.
and then he's
Yikes,
like, ha, 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 and then he reads the next one, and he's like cracking himself up, but it wasn't funny.
Have you ever?
And he waited way too long to go to the laugh track, so it was so blatantly obvious. Like, oh yeah, and the laugh track, by the way, and moving, and it was just
Have you ever-
so cringy.
have you ever seen
Oh.
those videos where it's like Big Bang Theory without the laugh track?
No, I haven't.
And it's like, I've always hated the Big Bang Theory.
I've never really
Me
watched
too.
it.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
never seen it.
There's no jokes.
It's not funny.
It's like the formula is someone will say something like, "Did you walk the dog?" And then the guy will say something about the scientific name of the dog and its origin and why would I want to do that? And then they play a laugh track. So when you take the laugh track out, it's just some guy going like, "Why would I walk a dog? A canine, whatever." Caninus lupus or
domesticus.
something.
Yeah, that's a wolf.
Yeah. Domesticus. And then they'd be like, and they just stand there for 2 seconds and nothing happens. And the guy will be like, "What do you mean you didn't walk the dog? What were you just doing?" And then he'll say something about an algorithm and then stand there for 2 seconds and nothing happens.
Because that's where the laugh track
Right.
would be.
Oh.
It's really, really weird.
No
Painful.
thanks.
I hate these shows.
Yeah, I'm
no
good.
laugh track for me, man.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
like wasting my time.
Thug Life Bear says, "You're a YouTuber, soy Jesus. Say your catchphrase." Do you have a catchphrase?
Do
What?
you?
No, do I?
I don't know.
If I have a catchphrase, please let me know. Do I have one?
Crowdsource
I'm
that
sure
catchphrase.
it'll happen soon enough.
Yeah.
Michael Hope says, "My favorite YouTube gang back and saving me from quarantine boredom. Thanks guys for what you do.
Yes.
You have all of my respect.
Appreciate
Thank you
Nice,
very much."
thanks. Appreciate that.
Thorin Parp says, "Hated soy Jesus at first, but he's grown on me. Like a bad case of the herp. You'll learn to live with it. Thanks to you guys, I was stocked for 2 months before COVID was out of China. Love you guys."
get rid of me.
Oh man.
Now, you can take medication to better live with the symptoms.
Soy Jesus.
Soy Jesus. Student of history says,
man.
celebrities are macabre marionettes, and when you cut the strings, you see the lack of anything with the standard they're given.
Seriously, look at Madonna. Like
Yeah.
literally a puppet.
They lose their
Oh,
minds.
man.
Yeah.
They're just flopping around.
Frightening, man.
Steven says, don't have to ask Soy Jesus to show more skin after finding his A&F
Oh,
work.
no.
He used to look like adult film performer Blake Mitchell. That's a compliment. That's a compliment, Adam.
Take the compliment, Adam.
Thanks.
Go with it.
Yay.
Thank you.
The news says, send all the celebrities to the Ostfront. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Don't know. Sounds German.
Agopian, thanks for becoming a member. Dodie says, I had such a crush on Ryan Reynolds when I was young, and he played in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Did you guys watch that show? I did not.
Never heard of it.
No, but Ryan Reynolds is great.
How can you lose your crush on Ryan Reynolds, though? That's my question.
Mine has only
He's a
grown.
treasure.
Yeah, exactly. I'm starting to get a crush on this guy.
Right?
Polar Bear Jago says, reminds me of Lily Jean. She faked her climb to fame. It was really sad to see. JMX says, got into my first false narrative argument about coronavirus today due to the couple that drank tank cleaner in Arizona. It's insane how many people just read a headline and use it to prop up their worldview.
Oh, man.
And if you
ridiculous.
got into it with friends, family over this stuff?
Dude.
Oh, dude, of course. All the
Dude.
time.
No.
You know, we talked about the tank cleaner story earlier because I did a thing on it.
It's ridiculous, man.
So Trump correctly pointed out that there
Yeah.
were several stories about a couple drugs that when worked together were promising.
Yeah.
But the studies were
Medicinal drugs.
prescribed to
that
people.
work for malaria, like actual medicine that's worked for many years.
And so here's what happens next. A bunch of people in the media started writing stories that fish cleaner contained the substance, and people were buying it. And then a couple of people in Arizona decided to drink a bottle of it.
No,
First
not
of
a
all,
bottle. They did it. They took a whole teaspoon.
Oh, is it
each
powder?
And dumped it in with soda and like mixed
Yep.
it and drank it.
Yep.
It's like that is
So-
insane.
First of
Even
all-
if it was like the pure amount, that's way too much.
Right. So that's the thing. First of all,
They're-
if Trump said it's promising and then someone was like, I think I'll overdose. Okay, you can't. What?
And oh yeah,
Listen.
then they blame Trump.
If somebody was like, make sure to take the point I made was sodium. Like you got to have a lot of sodium in your diet.
Yeah.
And then so someone goes out and goes to like a chemist or something and buys pure metallic sodium and then eats it, and then go, I'm dying.
It
You
burns-
told me to eat.
burns a hole straight
Right.
through their body to the
Yep.
floor.
Wouldn't even get through their
With
mouth.
like a tesseract cube.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what would happen. Like a Tesseract cube. I don't even want to know what would happen if someone took a big chunk of sodium and just swallowed it. Oh man.
it wouldn't get through your mouth.
It
It
wouldn't
would
get.
start interacting right in your mouth.
I know.
Right in the
I'm
back
saying
of
if they
your
put it in their
throat.
mouth and
Yeah.
just swallowed right away.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would. It would
gosh,
so
it would jack up
it's
your
it's
stomach.
No,
it's
thanks.
an alkaline, right? Is it? That's what it
I
is.
think so. Yeah.
And so when it reacts with water, it oxidizes rapidly.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, well, I was putting away the dog food and I saw this this fish, and it's not actually fish cleaner. That's actually wrong. It was actually a treatment for fish that had a parasite in their in their
for
body.
like ick or something.
So it's like, you would think that would work. Like, you're not a doctor. You're just gonna take this stuff and just eat it.
I looked this stuff up. 10 grams
Yeah.
treats 125 gallons of water.
Oh man.
Let's just drink.
10
One
grams.
teaspoon is approximately 4.2 grams,
my
at least as far as sugar goes.
She got lucky.
Oh.
But all of
man.
these media outlets started blaming the president.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's like
crazy.
Andrew Cuomo told us to take the drug.
Yeah.
And-
He said it's promising, and they're
Why don't the headlines of the news say after men and women die after consuming drug that Andrew Cuomo promoted?
Well, because he's probably going to be propped up as the future Democrat
Exactly.
golden boy.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Dude,
that
it
in the
is
future.
so absurd. I don't know what world these people live in, but they know they're lying.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll blame it on Trump for this one. It's like, dude, Trump never told anybody to ingest fish tank anti-parasitics.
No.
Could
He
you
said-
imagine if Trump was like,
he said
there's
there's
this
a
really
prom-
great anti-parasitic that helps the fish. Go eat it right now.
Yeah.
Don't do that, by the way.
No, please don't.
Like, that's
You're
insane.
going to get clipped out of context?
Yeah.
oh man.
Well, I mean, I'm doing an impersonation, so I'm pretty sure that'll be okay.
Hopefully, I don't know.
All right, let's read some more of
Oh,
these super
man.
chats. Tommy, thanks for the super chat. Clinton Miller says, buy a Corona. Ooh, I might.
I like her.
Top Gundy says, T-Pain auto-tune Tim. He's pretty good singer without it, though. Oh, okay. T-Pain popularized the use of auto-tune,
Oh,
but there are a
okay.
lot of people who are not good singers who use it.
Yep.
Aaron says, been watching almost every day since you went to Sweden, but never forked over any dough for all your effort. Have some. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks. All right.
Top Gundy says, Floorbo reminds me of the unisex Teletubbies. Oh, that's Sam Smith. Yeah. I agree with that.
I didn't know they were unisex. Teletubbies.
I don't know what they are. Freaking
That was
monsters.
after my time.
All right. I can't read this name. What is it? Gendanken Verbiture.
Can't see it.
Hey, Tim, try to get Isaac Arthur YouTube on the show. You will probably like him. He will blow your mind with space stuff. Greetings from Germany. P.S. Lydia, how many Skyrim jokes have you endured?
Just a few.
It's a new thing. It was from Super Chat. Someone called her Lydia of Whiterun.
Ah.
Yeah.
I like
you,
it,
You
though.
latched onto it, though.
Somebody made me
It's
a
funny.
meme with my face on her.
It is pretty good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was great.
I wanna
show
see
you.
that
Yeah, It's
meme.
pretty cool. They did a good job.
Yeah.
Andrew Starr says the switch flipped and Tim is now a conservative. No, I'm where I've always been.
Right in the middle.
No.
No?
Well, I mean,
Right in the middle, a little to the south.
This is what's
to the left.
No,
A
what's crazy is
You're right-handed, right?
the wheel is shifting.
The window is moving. The
Right.
Overton
The
window.
Overton window is
acceptable
shifting.
ideas. Yeah.
So it's moving so far left that people on the left are now on the right edge of the Overton window.
Oh, right.
That's why they call regular conservatives far right, even though they're regular conservatives who are like center right for the history, like the past 30 years.
It's all about perspective. So from way over there, they're far right, just because they're so far left.
It's simple, man. To a conservative, they look to their left, and there I am.
Yep.
To the average leftists, they look to their right, and they can't see me because they're so far left. They see me, and it's like they see me, and then right behind me are the conservatives, so they assume it's one group.
Yeah.
They
I
can't
can
tell
see
the
that.
difference.
Yeah, good point. That's a
Dude,
good way of putting
the
it.
policy positions I've defended, free speech, like border security, national security, like Bernie Sanders was for all these things. The Democrats were for all these things. Were and was,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, he
Were.
was.
Now it's like, how insane was it when Bernie on the debate stage was talking about giving non-citizens health care at a time when we're desperate to save our ICU beds?
Yeah, I don't get it.
That is mind-blowingly insane.
Or
Yeah.
the whole thing, the bailout has a huge package
Yeah, dude.
for them also.
for migrants and refugees.
For migrants and refugees, yeah.
Before Americans. Yep.
Mind blown.
They just want to slam it all in there.
Meta says Eric Weinstein recently interviewed James O'Keefe on his podcast, The Portal. It mostly revolved around the ethics of journalism and O'Keefe's methods. I think you'd find it interesting and are uniquely qualified to weigh in. Yeah, probably. I think James O'Keefe is pretty cool. Ward Spose says, I'll be keeping my membership up as you are an honest journalist and you are needed. Appreciate it.
Agreed.
Next says, just tuned in. I'd suggest those celebrities buy a VR headset and go on VR chat if they are craving social interaction.
Yeah, that'd do it.
They can certainly afford it, for sure.
True.
Rose says, local bar, $2 Coronas, Hysteria sold separately. There you go. Archie, thanks for the super chat.
Thanks.
Gregory says, bidet is finally winning.
Yes.
Yeah. J Max says, Tim, but the toilet paper shortage is super rough on me since I have IBS and really bad hemorrhoids.
Oh, man.
I'm stocked for a while.
That sucks.
Thanks to the Tim crew and other journalists, but down to
Yay.
10 rolls in a house of 4.
Oh, no.
God's help us.
Oh, no.
You got to get that bidet, dude.
Yeah.
Go to Home Depot.
The Red Bike Match says, well, since you asked nicely, Adam, I won't park my semi-truck.
Okay.
Jen McMahon says, God, whose name is Chuck, said, hoard toilet paper. Hoard it like gold. He warned us during season 5 of Supernatural 10 years ago. Is that real? Was that from on the show? I don't know.
Is that show still going, too? I think it is.
Probably.
Supernatural? Yeah, it is. I think
I
so.
used to watch it.
Christopher Burke says, yes. Let's take life and political advice from someone under a conservatorship and can't legally make her own decisions. Yes, that's Brittany. There you go. ML says, I'm going to spend my membership fee on Super Chats instead because you read my comment and see me exposed respectively. Soy Jesus, you cute BB.
Oh, shucks.
Juan Gar. Oh, we just jumped. All right, we're going to have to speed things up now because we are absolutely getting slammed on Super Chats. So my apologies if we miss your
We
comment.
got a little more time. We're good.
Oh, man, but we have a lot.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Yeah,
see how,
we got a ton.
how much that just jumped. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Juan Garza says, maybe the reason Trump is doing so well now is because people are actually listening to him instead of edited media versions.
Yeah.
Well, they still are listening to that. But what I think is happening is the narrative is becoming so condensed because so much is changing so fast.
Well, and people aren't working, so they actually have the time to watch him themselves.
Yeah, yup.
And they're sitting there listening to him, and they're going, oh. And then they're turning and watching the news and going, but I saw what he said, and that's not what he said.
Yep.
Like, what is going on here?
But I do think it's like
At
normally
least that's what's happening with me, because
the-
I'm watching him and seeing this for myself. It's just like, it's
the media.
ridiculous.
The media would be like, today in the news, the sky is blue. And then a couple weeks go by, and Trump will be at like an event, and he'll be like, it's really incredible. The sky is blue. I don't know if you've heard this. And then all of a sudden articles will pop up saying the sky is actually black. Trump is wrong. It's a reflection of particles in the sky. This man has the mind of a second grader. It's ridiculous. And so no one remembers the story from a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But now, because everything's changing so fast, there'll be like Vox today, the left-wing site, deleted an article from January 31st saying this will not be a global pandemic. It is not that big of a deal. Why were they saying that? Because Trump enacted a travel ban. So Vox immediately runs with Orange Man bad. No, Trump is wrong. It is not a pandemic. The flu is worse. And now here we are.
Yep.
And
then
people
they deleted
remember
it.
the stories
Yeah.
because they weren't that long ago. And so the media is flip-flopping every other day.
It's crazy.
And people are finally going, you just said yesterday this wasn't a pandemic. Now you're saying it is. Now you're saying Trump is wrong, but Trump just closed the borders. You just called Trump, like Joe Biden called Trump xenophobic for closing the borders. And now they're demanding Trump close the borders. It's like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
It-
But people have all the time in the world right now because they're not working.
Yeah.
So it's like blaringly obvious to everybody what's going on.
yeah, but there's still people who live in bubbles.
But dude,
I
so
agree.
much is being
That's true.
exposed.
Yeah.
But look,
Interesting.
if you live in a bubble where you're just seeing all the news all day, that's anti-Trump, regular Americans aren't there.
Yeah.
Regular Americans are talking to each other.
True.
And this was part of the research done by Edelman. Edelman Research found that people are less likely to trust journalists. There's the smallest group when it comes to coronavirus.
Yeah.
And one of the highest rated groups was someone like me. Well,
like you personally, you?
no, someone like it. A quote, someone like me.
Oh,
end quote.
okay. Right, I
So
see.
meaning like my neighbor or my friend.
Right.
Someone
Yeah.
on my level.
Right.
Yeah.
And guess what they're saying? The people are asking me, what just happened? Like I heard the Democrats blocked the relief thing. And I'm like, that's correct.
That is what happened.
But why? And I'm like,
Beats me.
they want to inject a bunch of like,
Actually, quote, they wanted to get their due
Division.
or whatever it was.
they said
Yeah,
this is
their
our
vision across.
opportunity to reshape things in our vision
It's like,
Yeah,
ooh, we have a
dude.
chance.
to exploit desperation.
Now that is saying the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
That's
Holy
dirty,
moly.
man.
That is out in the open.
That's crazy,
I'm loving
man.
it.
Yeah.
The mask slips.
She
They don't
wants
care
to give
anymore.
like 38 million to some school.
well, so here's the thing.
What's up with that?
I don't care about the schools.
No, you don't?
I mean, I don't like them.
There's multiple things like that. Not all of them are schools.
Here are the bigger issues. If you're going to give money to an industry that pays people a wage,
Okay.
everybody's hurting right now.
Okay, yeah.
So
all right,
I
see that
like
then.
I understand the criticism that, the Performing Arts Center, like, JFK Performing Arts Center or whatever,
Yeah,
is
that
not
one.
critical
That makes
infrastructure.
sense,
It's like, yeah, but dude, come on, man. If someone's got a job and they're out of work right now or
Mm-hmm.
they're not getting paid, I understand a bailout to any industry that pays staff.
I guess they would
But-
deserve a bailout before all the banks do.
Mandating that big companies have racial diversity quotas, increase their base pay rate to like $15 an hour, and forgiving student loan debt. I'm like, no, whoa. You're not bailing anybody. What is this?
How many times do they use the word diversity? in their
32.
bill? 32.
What does that have to do with
times.
anything?
It has
What is this?
nothing to do with saving
Yeah.
people from coronavirus.
Americans need help right now.
We
Well,
just lost our jobs.
So their argument was there's no restrictions on any of these corporations, so we're going to make them. If you get money, you have to give it to brown people.
Huh.
Like part of it was that these companies have to increase their board to have more women and racially diverse, non-white people.
That has nothing to do with anything.
You want to have an argument about diversity?
have a headache.
You want to have an argument about diversity? We'll have an argument.
Yeah.
But right now, people are just trying to get some money, pay their rent,
Yeah.
buy some food.
Buy some food and toilet paper, more importantly.
Dude, I can rant on this all day. It's
Yep.
it's mind.
Let's
mind
move
numbing.
on. Yep.
All right, we're gonna speed up a little bit now through the super chats. So I apologize if we miss you.
Warp.
So Psychia, thanks for the super chat. Rex says, wanted to thank you, Tim, for convincing me to get my supplies early on. Whenever the virus settles down, if y'all ever come to Central VA, I'll buy drinks and we can talk video games or something fun. Cool, man. Appreciate it. Zizi says, in my town, I could find everything from toilet paper to giant bags of rice and beans and cleansers, but cans of biscuit dough was nowhere to be found.
Really?
Interesting.
Better priorities than toilet paper, I'll say.
Yeah, right.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's probably like regional.
It's
So
food.
random.
Yeah.
It's food.
Yeah,
Although
it is,
those are
yeah.
really good. I gotta,
Super good.
Oh, yeah.
gotta be
Crescent
honest.
rolls.
They're so good.
Nathan says Pelosi won't release aid to the American people unless the Republicans give her what she wants. Guess we now have to impeach her. Yep.
Oh.
Backfree says, myself and parents thank you. Because of your videos, we were informed and prepared for this crisis. Hey, appreciate it, I just do what I think works for me. And if I say I'm going to do it, then I say, I'll tell other people what I'm doing.
Helping people.
Yeah.
Love it.
Casted says, Baron from Hickory Hills Skate Park says, what's up, Tim? Happy to support your content. Yo, what up, Baron? It's been
Word.
a long time. I skate in Hickory Hills all the time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a bunch of the homies down there.
Nice.
Like Fry, thanks for becoming a member. And Shire Logistics, thanks for becoming a member, as well as Polar Bear.
Thank you.
CZ says quantum dot tattoos are what ID 2020 are talking about. Bill Gates mentioned digital certificates will indicate whether you've been tested, vaccinated. Love what you guys are doing. Go hard.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I had a conversation once with this old feller, and he was complaining about social security numbers. And this was a long time ago. So I could be misremembering a lot of it, but my general understanding is that social security numbers were like a product of the Great Depression or something.
Okay.
Like people didn't used to have a register with the government, a number. And so this dude was basically telling me that we don't care. To him, it was like a nightmare scenario where the government was like, you are now getting numbered. And that was horrifying. For us, we grew up with it. We don't care.
Yeah.
So what happens when, in the future, some kid's born and their whole life they've got their chip and their tattoo? They're not going to care. They're going to be like, what do you mean? Do you have your Social Security chip implanted? Of course I do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yep.
Sounds like a Star Trek episode.
Yeah. Maybe the Orville.
Yeah, that one where they have the little badge here.
Right.
And everyone can
Vote up or down.
Yeah. Crazy episode.
Jason and Insanity Prepper. Adolfo, thanks for becoming members. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
JK says, look this up. Influenza vaccination and respiratory virus interference among DoD personnel during the 17-18 influenza season. Likely reason medical personnel are getting it worse. Luna, thanks for becoming a member. Steven says, pure sodium in someone's mouth would be like pop rocks from hell.
Yep.
You'd die, but it'd be explosive with lots of fire, too. Ooh, man. Gosh.
We're so much of us is water.
Yeah.
Right.
I do not want to think
No
about
thanks.
that.
Dannon S. says, fun fact, in ancient Rome, actors were considered low in society and weren't even allowed to testify in court because they were considered professional liars.
I think
Excellent.
we should revert to that.
Yep.
I mean,
Do
if you're
it.
a good liar, you're a good actor.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
Adam, thanks for becoming a member. Jack
welcome.
says, whoa, we just
I meant
jumped
thank
again.
you.
Jack says, hey, Tim, would you ever go on Sam Tripoli's show, Tinfoil Hat? I do not know who that is, but, I don't know. I haven't been doing any real interviews with anybody. Just people hit me up all the time, and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't have time.
Yeah, you're really busy.
I do the morning show, and then we do the night show, and it's like
You work every day.
Yes, I do.
This dude works every day.
Every day.
I mean, you guys
He does.
follow
Yeah.
him.
Weekends
so
are
you
half
probably know.
days, but man,
Weekends are my half days.
The work.
Between the two, I get a day off, kind of, but not really. Jonans, thanks for becoming a member.
Thanks.
Foul Lane says, yo, what happened to Molly? Emily. She runs Subverse, so she does journalism, and I'm doing, more commentary stuff. There's a lot of reasons for it, but she's essentially working on straight up, hard
go
news.
follow her over on Subverse.
Yeah, go follow Subverse. Mr. Paul R. says, cancel hell no. Honest journalism is sorely missed in the media. Tim, Soy Jesus, and Lydia are a calming influence in trying times. Lydia, camera before the end of days.
We will get there,
Thanks.
I hope, maybe.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Perhaps.
We'll get to it after the show. We'll sit down and
We really do need to
because we
do that.
It's just like
everyone's been asking.
the apocalypse has really jammed everything
Well,
up. made it
we
hard.
got to build a backdrop for her. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than just placing a camera
right.
for her. So
What you can actually see is the room we're in is really boring, and then
Yeah.
it's
Just a
only
basement.
behind us that looks good. And if we turn the camera, it's like
A basement.
and the
a
thing is,
basement.
we
Yeah.
have to go get stuff, and I don't know if you're paying attention, but there's this
apocalypse.
coronavirus.
What is it
going
called?
around.
Yeah. There's like a little thing.
There's
people
a
are talking
few
about
different
it.
things you can call it, but
Yeah.
I'd rather not go outside.
All right, let's get these super chats. We'll jump to the next segment.
Go ahead.
Angry Bellsprout says, did you see Tim's Waifu on the Hill YouTube channel claim current unemployment is a failure of the free market and why we need communism immediately to keep society functioning? Crystal Ball's brain is mush, they
That
say.
Sounds like Crystal.
Well, it does, but the thing about Crystal is that I've never said I think all of her opinions are good.
They're
I
not.
just appreciate that she's hosted me honestly and allowed me to say my ideas without, acting in bad faith. She's also given a fair shake to conservatives and others, and she does a show with Sagar and Jetty,
Yeah,
who's also a conservative.
I don't know who it is.
It's just she's a progressive, he's a conservative.
She
and
is very open-minded, and she seems to work in good faith, and I really
Right.
appreciate that. I appreciated that about
So
Tulsi,
this
too.
is the Hill TV's Rising show.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And I don't agree with either of them on most things, but they're honest people who do a good show. So by all means, you could have bad opinions. I know a lot of people with bad opinions, but as long as you're honest and you want to have a conversation about those opinions, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's
I'm
boring
cool with
to
it.
agree on everything.
Yeah.
True.
Steve says, avid follower for 5 months, became a member last night. Back to Syracuse, New York, January 23rd from London. I was prepped before most. Armed, gas mask, cigars, green, and food. 60 cases locally. First death today. Thank you for your realistic views. Appreciate it, man.
Word.
Former Ghost Funeral Service says, "Thank you, Tim, for your efforts in news reporting. Thanks to you, I opened the eyes of several of my friends to hypocrisy and lies of the news and the dangers of the COVID-19 to better prep for it." Appreciate it. And now, on to the next big segment.
Oh, here we go.
Should women be drafted? Should they?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I am asking you.
I mean, I don't think anyone should be drafted. But, I mean,
Good take.
if there's going to be a draft, I mean, I would fight if it was a good enough reason and I
Well,
was pulled in. But
We can talk about the draft in general first.
yeah, I guess.
But
Well,
let me-
that's
let
where
me-
my mind goes.
Let me
but-
give everybody the news real quick.
yeah, read
From
it, read it.
Politico. Women should be eligible for the draft. Commission recommends. The 11-member commissioner's report was briefed to the Pentagon on Monday and will be presented to the White House and congressional staffers Tuesday.
Oh my gosh,
They say, quote,
this is from today.
"Yes, today. This is a necessary and fair step, making it possible to draw on the talent of a unified nation in the time of national emergency," the commissioners wrote in the 255-page report obtained by Politico. The report does not require action, but its recommendations pave the way for lawmakers to move to include women in the draft more than 100 years after Congress passed the Military Selective Service Act in 1917. While no one has been conscripted into the U.S. military in more than 40 years, the act requires all American men to register for the draft when they turn 18. Men who fail to register can be fined, imprisoned, and denied services such as federal student loans. The Pentagon spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So they say this comes 5 years after Defense Secretary Ash Carter formally rescinded the Pentagon's combat exclusion policy that had prevented women from serving in combat roles. Today, more than 224,000 women serve on active duty, and at least 30 women completed the U.S. Army Ranger School as of August 2019, according to the report. My first question is, did they change the rules to make it easier for the women to pass?
They did in the Marines.
Right.
I do know that.
So we're lowering our standard to put more people in combat.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Me neither.
If they're going to be a Marine, my brother's a Marine. If you're going to be a Marine, you got to go through
Yeah, mine too.
the training, and you got to prove that
Best
you
of
can
the
be
best
a
of
Marine.
the best.
Yeah, that's what they're
Marinators.
supposed
Yep.
to be, aren't they?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, I've been in situations with untrained people, and
Yeah.
I feel bad for some of these Marines.
That they have to be put with someone that didn't go through the training that they did.
I want to
Is that what you
know.
mean? What do you mean?
When I'm in so I've reported in a few, major urban conflict areas. Like I was in Egypt during the revolution.
Oh, okay.
And I want to know that the people who are with me know how to take care of themselves. It's not about me being more prepared than you being more prepared than me. It's about both of us understanding what's going on. Because I've been sent to places in conflict where the people with me had no idea how to respond to active gunfire or anything like that. And then I have to stick my neck out and carry them. It's like, dude, if a fire breaks out, can you get out of the building? Can you escape? Do you have the capabilities? Because I'll tell you what, imagine you can walk and run like a regular person.
Yeah.
Let's say they're sending you into a mission, a burning building.
Okay.
And the people with you also can walk and run like regular people. If they put you in with somebody who's in a wheelchair, you'd be like, listen, man, I got no beef against you for being in the wheelchair, but now I literally have to pick you up and carry you, and it risks both of our lives.
Yeah.
We have standards for a reason. If you're going to go into a burning building, you got to be able to walk and run up and down stairs like normal, right?
That makes sense, yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. So when I see stories like this, and so I don't have it pulled up, you're saying that they lowered the standards for women.
Yeah, this is something that it happened a while ago.
So then what? I'm going to be in a conflict with, guns ablazing, and I'm going to be like, great, now I got to literally pick this person up and run?
I don't know how many women get into the front lines in the Marines.
Probably not a lot.
Yeah, so
If
I will
any.
say
I mean, they
that.
say 30 women completed the U.S.
Yeah, I
Army
was like,
Ranger
that's
School.
a very, very small
Yeah, the
number.
Rangers is pretty tough too, isn't
It's
it?
extremely tough.
But the question then is, do they lower the standards? Because
That's a good question.
I know people who have served. I actually briefly lived on a military base because my sister, she's married to somebody who's in the Army.
Yeah.
My dad was my dad's a former Marine. My brother was in the Army, and I've met a lot of people, and I hear a lot of the same stories that
Yeah.
the women who join have, like, although the standards might be there on paper, they're not practically applied.
Yeah.
What's that?
And does it end with the Army? Like, is this a thing everywhere?
So
Yeah.
I was curious about the those Army Guard women. The first article that comes up is the inside story of how the Army reduced standards to get women through Ranger training. So
Well then,
Oh. And
Okay,
only
then.
and only 30 of
That's
them
why
passed
30 of them got
with,
through?
with an easier time to
Wow.
get
Ugh.
through.
Los
Yikes.
Angeles wants more female firefighters, but only 3% of the department is female.
Let it be.
You know what, man? So the official response from feminists on all of this is that we oppose the draft for men and women.
Right.
It's like, okay, then will you actively protest the draft when they're not pointing
For
at
men?
you?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so we're all eligible for the draft. You're nowhere to be seen. The moment the commission steps up and says, we want to draft women, they all start screaming, but we oppose the draft for everybody.
No, you
No,
don't.
no, you don't. No, you don't. You're
No,
only complaining now. Dude,
I mean, there hasn't been a draft in 40 years, they said.
Right.
So there hasn't really been like
No one thinks
guys
about
protesting the draft at
Right.
the same time. So, it's kind of a little
But then
weak.
you shouldn't say that.
I do-
Just be like, women shouldn't be drafted, right?
No, I mean that would be giving everyone ammo to be like, well, then you're just being sexist and not a feminist,
Sure.
right? So
here would be the more traditionalist view. Only men should be in combat. The liberal view would be, I don't care who's in combat so long as they can pass the test.
boom.
The
That's
modern
what- that's what
leftist
I-
view
that's
is,
what I agree with.
if
Yeah.
women can't pass the test is sexist, and it needs to be made easier so we get 50% women and 50% men.
I
Yeah.
think with all things, you need to earn your keep and earn your way in, whatever it is. If it's a CEO, I don't care if it's a guy or a girl. If they proved that they know how to run a business, that they become the CEO, dope. It doesn't matter to me what gender you got. Makes no difference as long as you have the abilities that the jobs require. Especially with the Army.
Check it out. The article says, today the public's opinion on including women in the draft is mixed, with 53% supporting the change and 38% opposing it in a 2017 survey cited by the commission. The commission heard from many people who fervently believed women should not be required to register for the draft. Some expressed concerns that including women would damage their ability to perform their unique status in society as wives, mothers, and caregivers. Others raised concerns over the possible risks to women posed by combat roles, saying women are more likely to be injured in training. That's all true. I personally don't care. Women should be drafted. Draft doesn't just mean combat.
Right, exactly.
We can draft you and say, start making widgets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Start
work in
ma-
a factory.
Yeah.
Or doctors and nurses, chefs, whatever. There's a bunch of things you can do besides fighting or, being a firefighter or something. The bigger issue is inclusion in combat. So look, I'm not going to speak for the people who actually have served and might know better than I would.
Mm-hmm.
But if it were me and I had to, I'll put it this way. If you had to, I don't know, play a pickup game of basketball with your buddies,
Sure.
and you were going to be on a team with a bunch of women versus a team of a bunch of guys, I think we can make a really easy bet as to which team's going to win. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just reality. The guys are more likely to be taller, more fast twitch muscle, just a fact. Now put life and death on the line. Man, if I had to pick, I want a bunch of 6'5", super ripped, trained, focused, fearless dudes. And women like that exist too. But it's the highest end of the bell curve.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So you're going to find substantially more men. So here's my ultimate thing. Women should be drafted. Actually, nobody should be drafted, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in the current system, I actually think there is a real reason for the draft. Here's my opinion on this. If right now they said, we're going to go over to the Middle East and you're coming, I'd be like, no, I'm not. You can't make me do it. Sorry. However, if a bunch of, Chinese boats crashed into the beaches of California,
Yeah.
I'd be like, let me know what you need from me.
Militia. Yeah.
If
That's
you
exactly what I'm saying.
if
Like,
you come and invade my home,
Mhm.
I'll be standing side by side all my American brothers and sisters saying, tell me where to point.
damn straight.
But I'm not going to get in a boat and go to the Middle East for oil.
No.
Or some
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
The war
voluntary
machine
war.
right now
Right.
is I don't agree with, but if it comes to protecting my country, then you know what? All right.
Yeah, your family, your home.
Here we go. They say experts argue that allowing women to participate in the draft will enable the military to access will enable the military access to a wider talent pool, as well as allow women to share in a fundamental civil obligation. It's a good thing that you're going to be forced to join the army. Hey,
Sure.
it's insulting to suggest America's mothers and wives and daughters couldn't contribute, whether the need were rebuilding levees after a natural disaster or repelling an invasion from our shores. Corey Shack, director of Foreign and Defense Policy Studies at the American Enterprise Institute, told the commission, America's daughters should be slotted into service as their physical and emotional suitability proves capable, just like America's sons. You know what? I got to walk some stuff back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When I'm talking about a bunch of trained, fearless dudes, I'm thinking of an excursion, or an incursion. You're going in somewhere really dangerous. You're surrounded by danger.
Okay.
No, if we're defending our shores from an incoming threat, I don't care who you are. Take a gun, point in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the American way, man. A bunch of farmers picked a bunch of guns and told the regulars the GTFO.
True.
So, you know, I know back then they probably said keep the women safe. And I think there's a really obvious reason for it. Evolutionary biology and psychology. We should totally get an evolutionary psychologist in
We're
here.
working
Totally.
on that,
Yeah.
remember?
So there was this
Oh yeah, coronavirus.
Yeah, that's right.
No guests.
No guests,
I
no
miss
guests.
having
We had to
guests.
cancel
Yeah.
somebody.
But here, check this out. This is an idea I had.
Yeah.
And I would love to actually have one of these evolutionary biologists or psychologists chime in and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think about, I was playing Fallout. I think this is in Fallout 3. There's Vault 68 and Vault 69.
Okay.
Do you know what those vaults are?
No, I don't remember.
I'll just give a quick bit of context for those who aren't familiar with the Fallout game series. It's nuclear annihilation wipes out civilization, and there are a bunch of vaults built by a company called Vault Tech. It turns out many of them are actually experiments, but everyone hides in these shelters when the nukes go off. Vault 68 and Vault 69 were vaults where there was 99 men and one woman, or 99 women and one man.
One man.
And so, you know, I was thinking about what would really happen in a circumstance like that, and one thing is true. If you have a civilization, if you have a society, or like a tribe, and there's 100 men and 100 women, and 99 women die, you're likely going to collapse.
Yeah.
Because you can have, one kid in 9 months? It's over.
That we're a
Completely
limiting
over.
factor.
Yep.
women
That's
are.
true.
Yeah.
However, if 99 men die, that one guy can have
He can make it happen.
99 100
Yes.
babies in 9 months and totally start repopulating the civilization. And those women who don't have kids are capable of helping sustain and support and grow. So men are expendable.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is we developed gender norms like the draft based on the fact that the women must survive. Otherwise, your civilization is over. And yet, like, the Vikings would steal the women from, like, the British Isles or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of women to a functioning civilization. However, today, everything's safe. We're in a bubble.
Yeah.
We got too many
It's
people
not the
already.
same world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Though we are seeing population decline, which is kind of scary. But now, because there's no real fear of humans going extinct, feminism. Put them in combat. Give them a gun. Whatever. We don't care. We got more than enough people across the board. We're safe.
They wanted equality.
Well, now they get it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. This thing pops up every few years, and they want women to, join. And I think the best point is that they can do any other job.
It's interesting that they'd be talking about this now with all this pressure between us and China, because, I mean, we kind of toyed at it a little bit every so often with, like, Trump's been kind of warning us all that, like, China's trying to take our power away.
Yep.
Sorry,
They're
giving,
actively doing
we're
it.
giving them our power
Yeah.
as they're trying to take it. It's like, they're taking, we're giving, and now they're in a really stressful situation where they're losing their grip on the world, or Trump's like, we're going to take our power back. Sorry. We're bringing it all back. So now they're kind of like stressed. And now they're talking about the draft.
Yep. And why women should be involved.
Yeah.
They're getting ready.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
when
almost like they're getting ready for something.
Whenever there's a big crisis, I assure you, people in these rooms start saying, like, do we have enough people?
Yeah. And I don't think they do. Right? I mean, I don't know
I
what
don't
the
know.
status of our military
I
is.
do not know. and they would
Compared
not
to
tell
China,
us.
they have 1.3 billion people. We have
Right.
330 million.
So they got 1 billion more people than
They
us?
have a massive standing army, but they don't have the same tech we do. We
Right.
have like a ridiculous amount of military tech bases all over the world.
True.
So we're tough, and we also have coalition, with like European countries and to whatever extent Canada is part of our coalition. I don't know. But
Right.
I think there's a lot more people who are more interested in global stability, but China wants to be a bigger power, and they've been pushing and stealing and stripping things away. And our crony politicians have been ponying up whatever they've asked for.
Taking their money.
Well, now that the world is kind of falling apart, I don't even think it's necessarily China, right? It's like we're in a chaotic situation as it is.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
theoretically, we're facing a serious threat. And if it got really bad to the point where we saw like 20 or 30% mortality, we'd all probably be conscripted to some degree.
True.
Or actually, I'd be willing to bet I'd get a national security letter saying, like, these are your propaganda talking points. I'd be totally willing to bet that'd be the case.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Like, you need to spread this information.
Yep. You need to tell people to do this.
Yeah.
Like, if we were facing like a serious threat, they would probably go to people like me and like Joe Rogan and be like, if you say this, we'll shut you down. Here's what we want you to say.
Yeah.
because information is
we
powerful.
will turn you off.
Yep.
And they
or
probably
we'll
could.
lock you up and
Yeah, they sure could.
light up the room.
Even worse. Yeah.
Yep.
True.
But what I'd imagine everybody would be conscripted in some capacity if the mortality rate was really, really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. People don't realize that we live on. Man, we are in a beautiful paradise golden age.
Yeah. They really don't realize it.
Societies like
Give thanks every day for what you've got, please,
Seriously,
because
guys.
we are lucky
This is
right
an
now.
anomaly.
here's what I think about the Second
We
Amendment.
really are.
I don't think the Second Amendment was necessarily about stopping a tyrannical government.
Okay.
A lot of people say that. You know, if the U.S. government goes out of control, then it's the right of the people to fight back, and that is true. That is things that was said by the founding fathers. I think the Second Amendment was simple. Somebody might try and invade our country. If everybody has guns, they can't, and that's actually
true.
been true.
Yeah.
What's the famous quote? There's a gun
There's a gun
behind
behind every blade of glass.
the blade of glass.
Yes.
Oof. There is a gun behind every blade of grass in the United States, and that makes it impossible for foreign armies to actually invade.
Yep, it's true.
You can't occupy a street corner with a missile, with a fighter
Cannot.
plane.
That is correct.
And so if everybody in this country is strapped, you can come in, they're going to be firing back at you. So they can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. So we actually, as part of the foundation of this country, know that we are facing serious threats throughout our entire existence.
Can Chinese citizens have guns? I'm just
I don't know.
curious. I don't actually
be
know.
willing to bet like my life that they can't, but I'm not sure. So
I went to Texas several months ago, and I was on this is last year. I was on Glenn Beck's podcast.
Okay.
And his studio is awesome. He's got a bunch of newspapers from like the 1800s. And one of them, I was reading a story about a guy who was standing outside of a bar smoking, and another guy just pointed like a pistol in his chest and pulled the trigger. Bam.
Jeez.
Yep. Life was nuts back then.
I
People
know.
died all of the time.
Red Dead Redemption 2, people are killing everything all the time. And it's like the
Survival,
true
man.
nature. Yeah.
Could you imagine like actually living in a world where you were scared that a bear might attack your town,
No.
none
and
of
you
us can
had to
imagine
have
that.
weapons?
Or the random guy passing by you might shoot you and take your stuff.
Yep.
Without a thought.
And that still might happen today, but we've moved. Like it's just.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably more numerous because there's more people, but it's crazy to me to think back like 200 years ago. You could be walking down a dirt path, and someone could be like, "I'm going to take your stuff." Blam, take
Yeah.
your stuff, and no one would ever figure out who did it.
Exactly.
You show up at night, you wear a mask, you take someone down, you take it, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize we've built this society that is so safe.
This comfortable bubble we live in.
Yep. Feminism only exists because of the security and safety we have. If we go to war, it's gonna be,
It's all over.
gone.
Yeah.
It's like that article we were reading the other day where the woman said we're going back to the 1950s.
Yeah.
You betcha.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an article going on, or like a meme, I think. It's just like there's silence from all the different talking points that all these screamers on Twitter and all the different places. There's like, we haven't heard anything about any of these issues. No, none.
Like what
nothing else.
issues?
Just
Any of the
gender,
things happening.
Oh,
right now.
right,
yeah,
right, right,
social
right.
justice stuff.
Social justice
like,
disappeared.
all
Just
the
like
stuff,
that.
feminism.
Gone
It's
overnight.
like no one's talking about it anymore.
Yep.
It's like,
A little bit.
Diversity.
There's
like
been
what?
There was a story that said like trans affirming surgeries, it's like the coronavirus epidemic shows how society views trans affirming surgeries as like cosmetic and or something like that. And it was like from the perspective that these people's lives will be saved by these surgeries. It's like, I mean, yes, but they can wait.
Can it wait?
Well, they argue no. They say people are
No.
dying. They're killing themselves. And it's like, right, but that person is choking on their
They're
own
choosing to
blood,
kill themselves.
on their own fluids,
I'm
and
not
they're
saying it's okay,
scratching
but-
and clawing at
They
the
are
wall,
not
desperate for
They
help
can't
right now.
breathe.
Right.
Yep. And there were other articles
Oh, my.
going around about how like Nazis are trying to weaponize the coronavirus, and it's like, dude,
Yeah,
shut
okay,
up. But for the
that's
most
enough.
part, it's out.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's luxury. It's luxury politics. They only exist in wealthy, advanced, safe civilizations and
Yep,
societies.
that's true.
And once conflict and crisis comes, everyone's got to do their part.
Yep.
That's conscription, man. It's like, listen, I don't agree with the draft. I don't. To an extent, like being sent overseas, like the Vietnam thing was insane.
Yeah, exactly.
But what would happen right now if aliens invaded?
Oh man.
You better believe every human being would take up arms.
True that.
And they would join the global coalition,
Right.
Earth Front, to fight back against the alien threat.
Definitely.
You'd have no choice.
Right. Or we're gonna lose
It's like
our
we
planet.
We just watched War of the Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Like Tom Cruise didn't want to fight.
Nice.
He's like the main character. He's like running to save his family, and then he ends up fighting, and
Well, technically, he was only running to grab his screaming daughter over and over and over again.
Right.
I feel like
Sure.
that's really what the movie was.
Yeah.
So what you're saying
With
is,
CGI.
in the event of a major catastrophe, we just have to wait for Earth's germs to kill the aliens.
Yep.
That's basically what happened in the movie. I just spoiled it for all of you. Too bad.
Too bad. It's old.
Too bad.
It's way old.
Yeah.
But it's good though, actually.
Even I've seen it.
It's,
All right,
it's
well-
good for being that old.
Let's jump to the super chats to see what everyone else thinks about
Yeah.
women being drafted.
Fun.
All right, let's see. Where are we at? We'll try and figure out where we left off. And it's always hard to find where the
Space
last
Force.
super chat was. Where are we at? Here we go. Alex Aiello says Lydia here is the supernatural. Here is the supernatural clip. Spread word of Chuck.
Oh, I'll
There you
have
go.
to look it
Oh,
up.
you can actually click it.
Sweet, cool.
Mayan says the lockdown is to cut off adrenochrome to celebs. Oh, yeah. Joseph Metzler says this COVID-19 is exposing a lot of problems that most people aren't even noticing. You guys don't even know the half of it, speaking as a hazmat worker. Well, tell us, I guess.
Yeah. Want to hear more?
Wolfalt says thoughts on the saying, follow the white rabbit. I don't know. What does that mean?
I just think of The Matrix.
Yeah.
I think
and-
of Alice in Wonderland, which is where it's originally from, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but The
that's
Matrix is way
yeah,
cooler.
The Matrix is way more modern.
No, I don't know. I like Alice in Wonderland. It's
Little-
trippy.
Little
I,
trippy.
I like
yeah.
the premise of what it means in The Matrix.
I like
Yeah.
that Alice in Wonderland song from the 70s. Which one was that? White Rabbit.
Actually, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it means the same in the original movie too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the same
So.
idea. The white rabbit is someone you follow down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's all,
I'd jump into the rabbit hole.
right? For sure.
L. Duke says, shout out from New Mexico, USA. How's it going? Michael says, hope you're sharing the money that is for your reporting and honesty. Appreciate it. Mixed Cheese says, follow the white rabbit. All right.
Ooh.
S-Head, thanks for coming a member. Joshua says, hey, Tim, have family, friends who are very sick and in the hospital. I really don't want them to have the virus. Please pray for them.
Oh,
They will be
man.
in my thoughts.
For sure.
Michael says, Dallas says gun stores are not essential businesses, but liquor stores are. Keep the public drunk, not armed. Dallas is
Interesting.
embarrassing Texas today. Wow.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most people in Texas are armed already. But
Yeah, I think.
Be surprised,
so.
man. You'd be surprised.
yeah, I guess maybe
There's
I
big
would.
urban centers, but you
Yeah.
know,
True.
you never know.
True.
Big towns.
Former Ghost says, thank you, Tim, for your efforts in news reporting. Thanks to you, I opened the eyes of several of my friends. Oh, I read that one. Bert says, can you decorate this room with Adam pinups?
Well, we have the raw material from the A&F shoot, right?
Oh man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someone did a deep dive and liked it.
Yeah,
And I was
man.
like, oh, someone went.
Oh, boy.
someone scrolled for that picture.
Way back.
But it's funny.
Mr. Paul R says, Lydia would probably make the bland wall look lovely.
Questionable.
Mayan says, Tim, tell everyone to research adrenochrome. What is that?
So this is a thing that supposedly the celebrities take to keep them young. And there's a theory right now that they're going crazy because they don't have access to it.
It's a
Oh.
fake drug?
No, it's a real thing, but they're saying that
Adrenochrome.
it's used as like the blood of the virgins or whatever,
Oh.
the blood of the young people, or I don't
Oh,
freaking
jeez.
Oh, is that
know.
the thing where they like eat pituitary glands or something?
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know enough about it.
Whatever.
It's not a thing.
Matt Hatter says, people on Twitter are starting to link Federal Reserve. What is this? I also have to cough. Excuse me.
Tim.
You're supposed to cough into your.
I'm hitching a ride on the
Okay.
first starship to
All
Mars.
right,
I don't know.
Fredo.
Yeah, call me Fredo.
Incogchito says, did you know there was an Italian Jedi? His name was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well then, we now know.
That's cute.
Wordy the Bird
that.
says, draft beer, not war. Absolutely.
Yes.
Supreme Horizon says, butt chugging is when you put a tube connected to a funnel into your butt. I only
Yes,
know this
we
because of
know.
1,000 Ways to Die show.
We know.
What goes in and then you drink it?
Yes.
Well,
That's way
hard,
worse.
hard
than-
liquors. It goes right in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's,
okay,
That's
okay.
the whole liquor soaked
Oh no!
tampons
I
thing.
was thinking it was something like the butt chugs that we were talking about, where you drink it from someone else's.
Oh, no.
So I was like,
Oh, no,
whoa,
no,
that's a whole
yeah.
new level. I'm
Of
so
nasty.
happy that's not a thing.
Asad says, if it's all about equal rights, then yes, women should be drafted, but most women should still never be infantry. I agree. Ray Vasquez says, women shouldn't be drafted, but feminists should. Giving them the
That's fair.
chance to prove anything a man can do, a woman can.
Yay, yeah.
Kevin says, Taha is bringing my dominoes. Taha-ha. All right. Mr. Paul R. says, Israeli Defense Force has men and women in defense on their sovereign territory. Yeah. Kyle Miller says, what is your definition of what a conservative is, Tim? It seems like the definition of conservative has changed over time. I considered myself a liberal long ago, but now I feel dejected by the left. Yeah, there's an actual breakdown in the political compass of what conservative is. It tends to be center-right, and liberal tends to be center-left, just underneath the line between the libertarian quadrant and the authoritarian quadrant. So liberals lean towards freedom, but they still believe in a decent amount of authority for the state, but not so much. And they lean left towards cooperative markets instead of competitive markets, which would be like a free market versus socialism. So most Americans are center left or center right, and America as a whole leans slightly center right from most people. We now have this big burgeoning class of far leftist socialists, communists, tankies, all this stuff, and they view everyone as far right.
Right.
And it makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Because define far right. You can't.
If you move that far left, then everything's far right of you.
Because the compass is defined as, you could argue that their definition is cultural, meaning ultra-traditionalist, but the political compass doesn't define things this way. The far right is competitive markets. It's just, that doesn't make sense. So Paxton says, freedom requires duty. If you want all the freedoms but don't willingly do your duty to serve, then you lose some of those freedoms to make up for that duty. Draft those chicks, even if they just work in logistics. Makes sense.
Freedom and responsibility. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see
They go
Starship
hand in hand.
Troopers?
Yeah. Great movie.
Oh, no, I need to watch that.
Their society is, it's a, what is it called? It's like a liberal society, but you can only vote if you join for 2 years or something like that. That's how it works, right?
I think so.
Sargon did a big thing about it, and I can't remember what it was, but they try to pretend like Starship Troopers is about a fascist society. It's not.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
It's an
I
interesting
gotta watch
thought,
it
though,
again.
that you have full constitutional rights as a citizen, but in order to become as a civilian, but in order to become a citizen that's allowed to vote in elections, you have to have served in the armed forces or something.
I actually kind of like that. Why I don't.
It sounds like there's
understand.
a but.
Like why is that like controversial?
I think it's
I
an
remember
interesting
they
idea.
were
I don't know.
talking about it being
It
a
is.
fascist idea, and I was like, why would you expect all of these freedoms without responsibility? Because from what I understand, the right to vote used to be tied to doing things like serving on the fire force,
Right,
like
fire
the fire
brigade.
departments,
Yeah.
and originally was. I don't
That's
know
how
if
it used
this
to
is
be.
fair, but people who owned land could vote first.
Yeah, I
because
don't like
they had
that.
they had a
Yeah, I don't-
vested interest
I
in
don't
what
like that.
happened.
I think we've moved now because not many people own land, but we want to maintain the rights of the individuals to be heard and all that stuff. I'm not saying it's an idea I would want to see implemented, but I think it's interesting, and exploring it would make sense. What happens when you have everyone just voting is you get an exploitative class of politicians who just say, vote for me, I'll give you $50,000. That's what's happening.
That's true.
Elizabeth Warren, college students, vote for me and I'll just give you 50 grand. Straight up.
Basically, yeah.
Yep. So once, there's that quote that, this country is doomed once politicians realize they can just offer taxpayer money to whoever for their votes.
We've been
And it's legal.
doomed for a while then.
So things would change dramatically if only people who served could vote. But if everyone else still had their constitutional rights and everything, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm saying it's interesting.
Yeah.
Foul Lane says, if women want equality, then it means taking the bad with the good, and you should be able to stand up with the man next to you. Yeah. Mixed Cheese says, if feminists want equal rights, they must be held in the same standards than men in any organization, police, military, and anything else. Student of history. I was on my local FD for a few years. The absolute worst thing to have on an emergency scene is someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's why probies ride last due and are usually gophers. Gophers.
Interesting.
Cord says, equity hiring is a cancer. Get the best people, period, man or woman. I don't care.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah.
Totally agree.
Well, see, that's now the official conservative position, and the liberal,
So
that's not
strange.
even liberal. The leftist position, this is the dominant faction now, is equality of outcome. We don't care if you're good at it. We just want to see one man, one woman.
That just
Yep.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
That's equity for you. Outcast says, 3 weeks ago, I told you to buy food and ammo. You said, nah, life doesn't get that interesting. Since then, you've informed the masses, and I thank you for using the platform for good. Nice new beanie, by the way, LOL. It was actually almost 2 months now, Outcast. It's
I
I've
was
been.
like, is it a new beanie?
It was.
No, I don't know.
He
No,
broke
no,
it
you-
in and no one noticed.
it's not a new beanie.
No,
Oh, it's not the new
No.
one? Oh,
I
okay,
feel like
okay.
you've been wearing that beanie for our
Yeah,
show.
the same
right?
beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have other ones. They're inverted, different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't
We'll see.
often, I usually wear this beanie just because it's easier to tuck my hair into, but I don't always wear it. But I've kind of I kind of adopted the whole Bernie
Bernie?
Not the Bernie. The Beanie Bros.
So what you're saying is you've gone full socialist.
Oh, man.
I was like, no, say the right word. Anyway, I like
All
it
right,
now.
let's read some more. Supreme Horizon says, you should look at the British white feather in World War I. Don't know what it is. Fallon says, but at the same time, if you look to World War II, America's mothers and daughters were helping out while not fighting. Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Phil says, draft everyone. There are plenty of MOSs and rates. I'm an aviation electrician. At one point, half my shop was female. I'm surprised that it's an issue. Yeah, well, it's because the feminists don't want to be drafted.
Yeah.
So they want all the freedom but none of the responsibilities. And we just jumped again. Thank you, YouTube, for making that happen. Now, where were we? There we go. Julian, there we go. Julian says, womanhood, like everything, is being devalued by liberalism. There is no victory in subverting our perfectly complementary differences. It's not liberalism. It's leftism.
Right. Yeah, please don't misname
Liberals and conservatives agree on most things.
Yeah,
like
it's
most
really
things.
strange.
I think the real difference between the two is the extent at which the government can provide a service. That's really it. So like classical liberals versus social liberals. Those social liberals, which is the traditional liberal in this country, like that's what when people say the word liberal, they mean social liberal. They do believe in civil rights laws and stuff like that. So to an extent, I'll say it's fair to point out. But these people who are going nuts, like they besmirch the good name of liberals. And liberals are gone. They're politically homeless at this point.
Yep.
You've got authoritarian left and conservatives. And that's like the main factions. And I think one of the reasons is that a lot of people who used to be liberals have just joined the conservative faction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It's weird.
Mixed Cheese says, China is 100% responsible for what we are facing now. Don't forget that America. Do never forget. J-Max says, just got back from picking up to-go order, and I am flabbergasted by how many people are out and about. It's more than a typical Tuesday, not in a pandemic.
What the heck?
I'm pretty libertarian, but the little authoritarian devil on my shoulder has been whispering loudly as of late. I hear you, man.
That's been the case for a
Dude,
lot of
people are
libertarians.
totally
I
hear you.
don't get it, man. Stay inside your homes. How hard is that?
But not even like, you can go for a walk to a certain extent.
Yeah,
but people
go for
are
a
out,
walk.
like I've seen, there's videos from New York of just crowds of people in the street. There are people posting photos saying, look how empty it is. And I'm like, yeah, dude, but I've seen videos, man. People are out doing their normal thing.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, what do you do, man? Weekend Jail says, my work won't let me work because of shutdown. So here's some money, I guess. Can't wait for the Dems to lose in 2020. Gary Johnson voter here.
Hey,
Appreciate
me
it.
too.
Alex Aiello says, Texas suspended abortions until pandemic is over.
Not
Whoa.
essential.
Really? Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, well,
It is correct.
Wow.
there's going to be a major baby boom, dude.
Yeah, there is.
9 months. It's going to be huge. Technically Right says, during the Cold War, the KGB gave a report to the Kremlin saying that if they were going to invade the U.S., that under no circumstances should they enter Texas. Their recommendation was to nuke the entire state. Wow, is that real? That's amazing.
Is that real?
I don't know. That sounds
my
amazing. Though.
God.
Texas
Sounds
is
wild.
Makes-
Don't mess with Texas.
Texas
yo.
is awesome.
That
I've been to
does-
Texas. Texans are awesome people, by the way.
Big characters.
Shout out to my Texas friends.
Rich M says, Tim, for the love of God, make them stop playing the Michael Phelps Silk commercial on Hulu. There's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. Mixie says, after 5 years of being a lawful permanent resident, I already have my citizenship. I'm finally voting in this coming elections. Cool.
Congrats.
Yeah, welcome.
Born Mexican, raised in America. Thanks for the super chat. Gundoge says, you guys see Britney Spears came out as a commie? We did. We did a whole thing about
man.
it.
you
Go back
it's
to the
amazing.
first part.
Yeah, you
tomorrow.
missed our
Yeah.
segment. Yeah,
All
we'll-
right, let's
we'll
see.
post it.
Tiffany G says, as a female Marine,
Woo, woo.
I think women should be required to register for the draft if men are required. Women shouldn't be in combat if they can't pass. Men who failed didn't make standards change. Why should it change for women?
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
My
Thank
kind of
you.
girl.
Thank you for that.
Purple Nerp says, quote from Thomas Jefferson, the strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, as a last resort, to protect themselves against tyranny in government.
Yep.
I agree.
Cool
I agree.
idea.
Yeah. Well, I think, but I understand the quotes from the founding fathers, but for the necessity of a free state or whatever,
Right.
I think it's the militias were used to mobilize to protect us.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean it changes what the Constitution says. And now you see many people on the left argue, but we don't need militias anymore. I don't care. Change the Constitution if you don't think we need it. Too bad.
Yeah, good luck.
Top Gundy says men don't get knocked up overseas. Women tend to have a bunch of relationships on deployment. Oh, interesting. Shield Lab says, have you done a video yet on Event 201? If not, please do. My wife and I have been watching every video of yours on all your channels. Great content. Keep it up. Stay safe.
Ooh, thank you.
What is it? I don't know.
Event
I don't know.
201. I will look
No
it
idea.
up.
That Simple Note says, damn, Tim, sugar honey iced tea is getting dark. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sugar honey iced tea.
What is that?
Spell it out. First
Oh,
letter.
oh, oh, oh. I get it. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, a little. There we go.
Wolfenbach says it was a lot more violent back then. In the 1920s, we had a failed attempt on JBS Estrup at close range in Denmark.
Ooh.
He was shot at point blank range, but a button on his jacket deflected the
whoa.
bullet. Wow.
Whoa.
Magic.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Sam Schlapper says lots of issues with females in the military arise because there are so few of them. If there was an even 50-50 split, things would be a lot easier. Interesting. Jim says, have you guys seen the story in Financial Times and New York Mag about the Oxford study just released, saying this only harmful for people with some immune deficiencies? Did not see that. That's interesting to come from the New York Mag and Financial Times. It's left and right, kind of. Brian says, register for the draft and to vote at the same time. There you go. Former Ghost says, several countries have mandatory military service for, I believe, at least 2 years. I think that would help curb some of these young people's bad habits and help curb obesity. Thoughts?
Agreed.
Completely agree.
Yeah, man.
But I don't
Yep.
know if I like the idea of mandating people have to do anything. What is this? Get out of here. There was I think Rahm Emanuel. I don't know where he's at now, but he worked for Obama. Then he was a mayor of Chicago. He was very much in favor of mandatory basic for all Americans.
I kind of don't hate that idea. That's what they do in
Kinda
Israel.
don't either.
Yeah.
That's a little authoritarian devil on your shoulder.
That's
It's
what they do
true.
in Israel.
It's
It's
true.
But it's
necessary.
only
You're right.
3 months. Basic
that's-
training. You'll
it's not a
become
big
tough,
deal.
disciplined. You'll
You learn a
understand.
lot.
Yeah.
When I see these people licking toilet seats
Oh,
Yup.
and,
man.
and
Yes.
ice cream and going and butt
The
chugging, it's
authoritarian
like
devil.
they need a little bit of discipline in their lives.
But you know-
I mean, it is the little authoritarian devil in
That's
there.
That's why I just err on the side of libertarian. I
Yeah,
can't
you're
do
right.
it.
I know.
It's
true.
like how do you take the good with the bad? How do you deal with this?
You're right. I know.
I think the challenge is though it's a pendulum swing, and too much of having no discipline results in just absolute chaos. But then the chaos will create a natural circumstance where the discipline is required. We don't have to force anyone to do anything. Like right now is proof. The coronavirus, all of these undisciplined toilet lickers are gonna learn their lesson. It's just the way it is, man.
Yep.
All right. Chris White says, but does Tim Pool have hair? In fact, he does not. Robert Smith says, get busy living or get busy dying.
Solid.
Kyle Ellis says, do you think martial law will be imposed? No, but some strange iteration that will expand the government's powers probably will.
So we were talking about martial law starting in California last night, and I forgot to mention it to you today, but this morning I read about California using drones to enforce the stay inside rule after dark. And I was like,
Wow.
I wonder where it's going to start.
Yikes. California.
Yep.
That's frightening.
Watch
Artemis
California.
Artemis says Texas is the doom slayer of the U.S. When all else is lost, they will rise, rip and tear until it is done.
Yeah, man.
Caleb says, much love from Texas. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
David says, so you think most sane people will jump to the Republican Party then because the party caused the party to split while Democrats are pushed off into obscurity? Yes. And then you will
Seems
have
like it.
you'll have a group called like the Liberal Republicans versus the Republic, like a new factional form called like the Liberal Republicans.
Right.
Yep. Julian says, Mr. Reagan did a great video on limiting voting to taxpayers and restricting votes from public servants, namely politicians. Also, do you watch Mark Dice? I do not, but I have seen some of his videos. I know Mark. Cord says, it's fascinating how our belief system gets tested when there is a real threat out there.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's bring it. Let's do a feminism finale. We have this article that
man.
Adam actually brought up, and it's gonna make everyone angry because I'm assuming there's a big,
Sweet.
large group of men in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly annoys me. I mean, I got,
it made
here,
me mad
Well,
too.
let's
pull it
give
up.
people context. Let them know what
We
the
have
story
Adam
is.
read
So,
it.
so here it
Yeah.
says, how do I raise a good son in a world that lets men be so bad? And then
Read
right
this
underneath
sub-head.
it goes, I just found out my baby is a boy. What a nightmare.
Ooh.
It's just like, are you kidding me, dude? It's this guy Tom Wyman. So it's it's going to be a future father, and it's like, I read this before we even get into it. Like, what is your take on this guy?
What a loser.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like you're the reason why men get to be so bad because you don't know what you're doing. You probably had a dad that didn't have any idea what he's doing. It's like
Self-loathing.
it's so easy. You just talk to them and you are there for them. I mean,
Adam.
Now I don't have a child yet. I plan on having kids someday soon, maybe. I don't know, but if it is a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. I'm going to treat them like a human being and talk to them.
well, this might be shocking
Uh-oh.
to you.
oh
But,
no, what?
boys
Mm-hmm.
are people,
Exactly.
and
Individuals?
men.
See, I know that.
They're actually humans.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
I'm
I
having a
know.
hard
Think
time
about
here.
like have we ever I was gonna bring up China a little bit and their one-child policy stuff.
Yeah.
But I think everyone gets it. What they did to the female babies, we don't want to go down a path of, one is worse or better than the other. But we have such an insane world of propaganda because these media companies, in my opinion, are chasing after a narrative. This guy probably doesn't believe any of this. He's probably thinking, what can I write to get 1 million views? This is the
Seriously.
toilet licking of journalism.
Yep.
That is so true.
Yeah,
That is
dude.
exactly what this is.
Saying I'm going to have a boy and it's a nightmare is the equivalent of licking a toilet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This guy's just slobbering. And you know what? More than once. It's like he licked a toilet twice. Do you want to read it?
Yeah.
So I skipped ahead a little bit. It says, last week my partner and I found out the gender of our gestating child is going to be assigned at birth. And ever since the ultrasound technician turned to us and said, I can tell you that this little person is going to be a little male person, I have not been able to stop thinking about that strip. It's like before Edie got pregnant, I always assumed that if I did have a child, I'd want a girl. I've been told that boys have a tendency to pee directly in your face when you're changing their diapers, so it seemed like with a girl, at least you'd be starting out learning how to change a baby on easy mode. Oh
That's
my-
offensive.
I don't.
Girls are easy mode? What is that
That's-
supposed to mean?
So that's what it's about?
Girls are easy?
You're afraid to get
Bigot.
right.
You're afraid to get peed in the face?
That's fake. He's making that up, dude.
I know, exactly.
If you're worried about getting peed in the face, just put something over it
That
while you're
is
changing the diaper.
not-
Get out of here.
Dude,
so
Get a
silly.
sneeze guard.
every single one of my brothers stood on the counter when they were like 2 or 3 years old.
What,
Fire
peeing
range.
everywhere?
Free range fire.
Honestly, all I'm getting is he's afraid of kids. It doesn't matter.
No. He's lying.
Oh yeah, it's
This is
BS.
this is virtue signal 101.
Absolutely.
Well, I think men are bad. It's like, dude, you're married, right? Like, or no, your partner. I'm sorry. Oh, this
Yeah.
is just
Oh,
so
no.
gross.
Yeah.
It's like white guilt, dude.
You're
So
right,
what does
it
it
is.
say? Oh yeah, and he says, plus there's a broader range of cute clothes in which it's generally considered socially acceptable to dress baby girls up. Whoa.
Seriously?
Socially acceptable?
To dress
What?
baby girls?
I thought a child could be any
Whatever
gender.
they want. Yeah.
So why can't you put your boy in a dress?
Yeah.
You see the problem here? He's trying to navigate the unnavigable. There are no rules. Nothing makes sense. And so right now he's conflated. He's mixed two different ideologies.
Yep.
Relativism.
Girls have cute clothes. Sorry, you failed. Now he's going to get attacked by the left and the right.
Yeah.
Well, see, he goes on to.
wanna read
Well, like, yeah, no, I really don't.
He's over it.
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
this?
I'm over it. I
Simone
don't
de Beauvoir.
like. I don't even want to know what these guys. I did read through this when I first found it, and it's annoying. It's talking to. He's like, what am I supposed to do? Talk about emotions to him? And it's like, what? Yes. What? Well, what am I supposed to do? Like, teach him how to
Treat him
roughhouse
like
and
a person?
yeah, it's like he's complaining about having to be a father, basically.
man.
That's what this all boils down to, and it's just annoying. Like, and then what's worse is after he's complaining about having a kid, a boy. The very last sentence here. Let's just.
Whoa,
scroll-
hold on.
Oh, you found some
We
stuff?
got to read this.
All right.
Okay,
I won't skip.
We'll have
Here's
Tim
what he
read
says.
part.
But having a son can also, as roast beef realizes, I have no idea who that is, seem like something of out of a nightmare. I don't know if you noticed, but men in the society are often really not very good people. We've had a really hard time deciding on a name for a boy because for the most part, whenever we've found one we actually like, we've realized it's also the name of some notable a-hole. Oh, not this name. That was the name of a teacher who was really patronizing to me. Or, oh no, that one? That's the same name as a close friend's terrible ex-boyfriend. Names tend to pick up a history. And when it comes to men's name, that history is typically highly ignominious. Okay, let me tell you something. I have ex-girlfriends too. They have names.
Yeah.
Am I never going to say their name again? Look, if this guy was real, if this is serious, he's mentally unwell.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to say a name of some, like, how many Tom, Dick, and Harrys are there?
And if it is real, I feel bad for his son.
Yeah, man.
Dude, yeah.
Can we,
Because
somewhat like,
No matter what he's thinking is going to happen, that's going to be a
dude, his kid's going to grow up. This
I
article will
don't
be,
even wanna
the
say it.
internet is forever.
Yeah.
Assuming the world doesn't end.
Yeah.
This kid's going to grow up and at some point see this.
and read this.
Yep.
And be like, "Do you thought I was a nightmare? Like what? Thanks,
Like,
Dad."
wow, this is what he thought of me.
Or thanks, roast beef. Is that his name, roast
Yeah.
beef? I don't even know.
Look at this. If you're not
Tom.
careful, masculinity can turn what could once have been a perfectly viable human being into a selfish, violent repository of infantile neediness and poorly repressed emotions. This is psychosis.
Whoa.
This is psychopathy.
Dude, you want to talk
Idea-
about toxic masculinity? This dude is a perfect exhibit of toxic
No, this is
masculinity.
toxic femininity.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of?
He's
It's
saying
funny,
like, oh, no.
in Parks and Rec, there's I haven't seen the show in a while. I don't know why this is popping in my head, but there's this gay couple, or the guy's gay and the woman isn't, but they're married and they're like against every single thing that has to do with sex in the government. Like they're trying to teach old people because there's like an STD outbreak in like the old person's home, and they're like. The Parks and Rec lady's like, we got to teach these people so they don't spread it anymore. So they're trying to do like sex ed class for these guys, and they storm in and they're like, no, this is terrible and blah 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 blah. And it's like they're so against all things normal, traditional, and this feels like it was not even written by a guy. This is. I feel like she was over his shoulder, like, and add this, and add this, add this in there too, and make sure this is in there.
Wait, hold on.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
We got to read this.
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's
gosh.
read it.
I
Here's
know
what he says.
it gets worse.
We can do it. We got this.
Oh.
Toxic can seem overused as an adjective with which to accompany masculinity. But this is perhaps just because of how extremely appropriate it is. Too often, masculinity can present itself as a sort of seething poison, a noxious stench which insinuates itself everywhere, a malignant parasite that tries to make everything beholden to it, even the express intention by those who bear it to escape the worst aspects of masculinity seems all too often to repeat its excesses. Every, quote, not all men man is trying to seek an exemption for themselves. Every self-described male feminist is probably just trying to get laid. The nice guy will storm out of the room and make you follow him if you fail to acknowledge how nice he is being. For men, failing to be good often seems like the easiest choice at every step.
So they're basically saying every single guy
I figured it out.
Is bad. All men are bad.
I figured it out.
Wait, Tim figured it out.
Please,
figured it out.
Tim,
Yeah.
enlighten me.
Two things.
Here's
First,
the thing.
Yes.
He's talking about
the thing.
himself.
Ah.
He's very much the male feminist.
Yep.
100%.
He's projecting.
He's projecting exactly who he is. Self-described male feminist is probably just trying to get laid. He knows it because it's him. And he's worried his kid will just be
man.
him.
Oh, man.
That's what he's really
That
saying.
would be terrifying.
Yep.
Oof.
And now here's the other thing. Why is it that so many feminists think all men are bad?
Because the men they surround themselves with are bad.
Bingo.
They are dudes like this.
I'll tell you what. Adam, you seem like a pretty good dude.
Oh, thanks.
You don't hang out with these people.
No,
Neither do I.
I don't.
And that's the thing. The guys who are surrounding these women are the nice guy male feminists just trying to get laid. So they're surrounded by these skeevy dudes who are dishonest. And then regular, good, masculine, stoic guys are like, I don't want to have anything to do with your creepy ideology.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, if you want to go believe in, like, babies have no gender or whatever, I don't care. I'm going to be over there.
Yeah.
But then, but hold on. The male feminist goes,
man.
I believe babies have no gender. Now that I agree with you, will you sleep with me?
May I have
You
a
know what?
crumb?
I have a crumb.
Why don't you go ahead and read the next paragraph?
Oh, we're ready.
Oh,
We can do it.
Oh, go for it.
You're like, what is
Dare
this?
me?
I told you it gets
Here we go.
worse.
Oh, no.
Is this a parody? Are you sure it's not like a satirical
No,
website?
dude, it's not.
All right, he says, obviously there's a caveat here. Because who knows? Maybe as soon as my child is able to talk, they'll tell us we've got everything wrong and they're actually a girl. Oh, jeez. Here we go.
How did
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
That would present its own set of parenting challenges. But assuming he sticks with the gender the ultrasound technician told us he's going to be given, how can I stop my son from growing up to be a total prick? It's called being a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, wow.
I think you
Wow,
nailed it. I think
man.
you called it out.
so,
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's him. He's a whiny, pathetic, nice guy who's trying to get laid.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's it is.
Oh,
He
it's so bad.
succeeded.
Look
and
at
he's
this
Still,
Yeah.
long, insane. What is it? The outline?
Yeah, I
He's a
don't know.
contributing writer at the outline. He's a philosopher. No, he isn't. He's a
No,
child.
He is not.
You want to read the last paragraph?
In other words, if I want to escape the nightmare possibility of my son growing up to be the wrong sort of man, I'm going to need to both encourage and allow him to be his own person. And so I suppose I need to forget that the little sitting
little one.
About that little one sitting on one knee with the same face as me. I need to let my son grow a face of his own. I love you so much already, wee lad. I can't wait to find out who you are.
This is the most psychotic. So this is actually a really old article. Well, it's a year old. This kid is alive now,
This
I
kid
couldn't
is a year
concentrate
old.
on it. It's too
and
frustrating.
I'm worried for this kid.
Oh, so
I
the
am
kid's alive
too.
now.
Yeah.
He's out and about.
Out and about.
How much you want to bet it's completely fake?
I
Like he was
hope it is.
he's sitting in his room, and here's what happened. His wife walked in and she was like, "Tom, we are going to be short for this month's mortgage payment." And he went, what if I'll write an article complaining about our son being male. That should get a few million clicks from woke feminists.
Yeah, and she goes,
good,
"Ooh,
good.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, she was like, I don't care what you write.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
There may
write something
not
that makes
have
money.
been a-
Yeah.
And then so he writes the first draft, and he's like, I think I'm going to publish this. And she goes, no. You need to say that you don't want a son at all, and that all men are parasites. That'll get clicks. And he goes, good idea.
Yeah, it's
Submit.
I hope you're right.
How did you find this?
true. From Pocket.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they kind of hold
pocket-worthy.
on to kind of
Yeah.
older stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, Pocket's
interesting
a
stuff.
pretty great source of different
Very
articles
cool.
and stuff. They
This
give you good
is
stuff.
a cult.
Yeah.
This is like a weird dogmatic religion that makes no sense.
Yeah, it is a little culty.
If you came to me and said all of group of people are bad, I'd be like, I do not like that. I do not want to associate with that.
How can you say that? Have you met all
Right?
of them?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I hate that.
Nope. I'm
Right.
wrong. I gotta walk
Well.
that back. No, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Communists.
I'm
I'm kidding. No, I've actually met some okay communists, and I mean that. I really do.
Have you?
I do not agree with the idea that literally every person is irredeemable or bad,
Right.
especially based on their immutable characteristics.
Right.
Look, I've met communists. I tell this story often. A guy, he was wearing a mask with a sickle and a hammer, and he was giving out literature. And I asked him how he felt about Antifa violence, and he said that's terrible. It's awful. And I was like, really? I was like, I'm surprised. I thought you'd agree with him. He's like, no, man. He's like, true freedom and like communism would be everyone being equal. And if you're equal, you can't attack somebody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, my man. And so we talked about it. And I said, I completely disagree with your view on how a market could work. I do not believe it's possible.
Economics.
But I appreciate that you're handing out literature, having conversations with people, and denouncing violence. That's all I can really ask for.
Yeah,
That's a great thing that we
Yeah.
can talk about this stuff. So, yeah, I even have friends who are like woke feminists. As long as you're not an authoritarian who cries and screeches on the internet, you can believe dumb things.
Yeah.
Because they think I believe dumb things. But this article is poison. I'm worried for this kid. I'm worried for other people who might read this and think it's real.
I hope it is fake.
Remember we were talking about with the celebrities screeching and saying insane crap? It's because they read garbage like this.
Yep.
And they think that's what people like. All of these celebrities' jobs is to get clicks and get traffic. They are
true.
professional toilet bowl lickers.
Yes.
Boom.
We're gonna call them that.
But
henceforth.
I don't think this is a parody because this is on Pocket and they don't put stuff on there that's
I want
not
to
Right.
look this guy
Yeah.
up.
It's
I
the
wanna
outline.
Look him
It's
up
real.
on Twitter and ask him a bunch of questions.
Sure. You know what? Please do.
It's
I might.
I would love
These
that.
people are fake, man. This guy's a grifter.
It's
Yeah.
gotta
Like,
be.
what person is going to be like, I can't believe I have a son because men are evil? It's like, that's fake, dude.
I know.
hope
I mean,
you're
hey,
right.
people are cultists.
I hope you're right.
All right, you know what?
There's way too many details and it goes way too long for it to be fake.
No, I agree.
Or maybe
know.
that is a sign of how fake it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
However,
Yes.
we are over time.
Yes.
So we're going to jump to the super chats.
Quick
Before
super chats.
we close out, wow, guys, this has been the biggest show we've ever done.
Has
We've
it?
had over
Oh.
12,000 concurrent viewers. You guys are
Whoa.
awesome.
Goodness, thank
Nice.
you all.
Biggest super
you guys
chats.
are awesome.
The most likes.
Man, you guys are awesome.
You know, look, we'll go a little bit. I remember hitting up my buddy Adam, like, bro, remember we tried to do that show?
Yeah.
We tried to do the show. I was like, let's get it, let's do it. And Adam was like,
I was
yeah,
like,
bro.
I'm so bored. Thank you. I'm just looking for something to do. Seriously, for like a week and a half, I was talking to Nisha about like, what am I gonna do? Like, what can I do now?
This is
like,
perfect for you.
really needed to. I wanted to do something that I can. Honestly, I don't even have the end of that sentence. I was just
Yeah.
like starting
Need a mission.
the wheels in my head
Yeah.
to like
Yeah, man.
figure it out. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever comes my way.
New
and
year.
the next day, you called me.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's the
Straight
show.
up, the next
Fresh
day
start.
after I said to her, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna accept every opportunity that comes my way. And you called me the next day, and I was like,
So I
guess I'm moving.
I was gonna do the van thing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find anybody because it's not so much about finding somebody; it's about structuring it in a way that would work, and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was like, then I think what I need to do is just maybe like a nightly conversational show or something.
Yeah.
And we had done it before.
Yeah.
A really like off the cuff, like
Kinda.
on a laptop with some webcams.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll just hit up Adam. Like, let's get it done. And then I thought it was
The
gonna take.
webcams. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was like cruddy, and I didn't think
But that
we-
was fun
look,
though. Yeah, it's true.
I didn't think we were gonna get anywhere near where we are as like, dude, you guys are awesome. This is amazing.
Yes, you are awesome.
I thought
Thank
we
you.
were mostly going to be like complaining in my basement to a handful of people, and all of a sudden we've gone from like 2K to 12. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Y'all rock.
Thank you for
thank you to
showing up for
everybody.
us. Yeah, we really
And
appreciate you guys.
to everybody who hit the like button, we're at 3.1. It's
Woo, woo.
all the new
Nice.
members.
I encourage
It's
everyone to do that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll go through the last few super chats, and then we're a little bit over for today, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So let's try and figure out where we are. Well, we got a whole bunch of super chats. Maybe I can't go through them because we are going pretty late.
Let's get as many as we can.
Oh man, there's a ton. Wow. All right, let's go for it.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out there we go. Okay, let's see. Joey, thanks for becoming a member. JJ says, let's call the new kids coronanials.
Yeah.
JMax says, military basics save for Marines is a joke for most branches nowadays. I went through in 2009, and it wasn't even that hard then, and now I've got friends saying it's even easier. I've heard similar things. Shire Logistics says, Bernie Sanders ran for one reason, ad buy money. Once again, his wife was his ad buyer. That's also why he won't drop out until he spends all the money. Interesting. Is the money going to her? Is that how it's
I
working?
heard stuff about his wife. I do not know.
Interesting, though.
Don't know.
Victor says,
Gross.
Democrats just hold a carrot in front of voters. Delete says, I love the idea of doubling the size of our military. JK says, thanks for reading my last one. Please investigate that. You are better at research than I. If the counter articles authors to the right are tied to Big Pharma, could be the story of the decade. I don't have the time. We'll check it out. Top Gunny says JMac is because of their Karen moms. Oh, he says it's because of their Karen moms. Daniel says, keep up the good work, guys. You appreciate it. Seriously, thank you all so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Fowlin says, you give the military too much credit. I've seen my brother-in-law drinking vodka and playing Risk at 6 a.m. while in Cuba as part of the National Guard. Hey, people are people. David says, white feathers were handed out by feminists in the UK to men who thought they were cowardly for not fighting in World War II
remember that.
or World War I. Wait,
Yeah.
really? Wait.
Super shame campaign.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
No.
Zixi
Yeah.
says, former Chinese more than glad to be an American. Welcome to America.
Welcome.
Grant, thanks for becoming a member. Mr. Paul says, Tim, you need to do like James O'Keefe, start a toilet licking journalism award of the day.
No.
That'd be
Love
fun.
it.
I
Wall
don't
of
want to
shame.
glorify those people.
Mossy says, if that guy that wrote that article is being honest, he is a waste of Y chromosomes. Jay Schwiffer says, have you looked into HR 5717? It's a big anti-2A bill trying to be slipped in during the pandemic. Pro-2A people have been highlighting it a lot. I'll check it out. Grant says, thank you all for all that you do. Appreciate it. Jay says, said this for a while pertaining to current media. We rapidly went from the information age to the misinformation age with the advent of social media. Totally.
Yep.
Luke says,
True.
what about making basic training mandatory for graduating high school?
Oh, yeah. Young,
Maybe.
energy, keep you busy.
It's
Maybe not necessarily a basic training, but maybe some kind of retreat.
Yeah,
exactly. Some kind of like
3 months in basic
It's a lot.
training is a little too much.
Yeah.
But it would make sense that what's the program that you go in high school if you want to go into the military?
Oh, what is it called? Crap, I can't remember.
forget.
ROTC?
Yeah,
ROTC,
yeah.
right? Like like an ROTC that
It's like a
class.
2-week camping
Like
trip.
a senior year, you like one semester you take an ROTC
2-week camping
something.
trip.
Yeah, or something like
yeah,
that.
you go on a camping retreat, and it's like you go up to a farm and you'll do like it. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I mean, I'm just saying it because I really like the idea of doing that. Like it's
Yeah.
fun to go out and just be in nature a little bit. John and Nathan, thanks for joining and becoming members. Appreciate it. Fallon says, what these people don't realize is having a boy is hard because I talk to my mom and explaining my crazy to her while also being a man and showing up to work every day while I fall apart every day I'm off.
It's tough.
Rocky Desert says,
Sounds like life.
I want to send this woman the book Raising Cain. Julian says, wackos are barking about male privilege, and yet here is Tim having to emphasize that boys are in fact people.
Yeah, dude.
It reminds me of the person's case of the 1920s. This is pure aggression. Yeah, it's terrifying. Danker Supreme says, hey, Tim, just had a talk with my boss about the relief bill going through Congress right now. I think you like his idea. Have the insurance companies cover all loss of business. Fearless says, look up clone42.org, White Rabbit. It's an awesome puzzle that uses things like inspect elements. What is that? Viganary ciphers. It's like Cicada 3301, but for fun. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah. Kurt, thanks for joining. Danker Supreme's Part 2 says, then have the government reimburse them for all the expenses because they already have all the infrastructure in place and people to pay out the relief and keep scammers in check. That's interesting. All right, where are we at? We just jumped again. Ilmatic says, Event 201 is the elite letting us know what they are doing. It was a conference exercise in October 2019 about a novel coronavirus spreading. Interesting. Paxton says, I grew up under this and it's hell. It gave me an unhealthy view of what a wife should be, and I've been through many abusive relationships. Now, I now, as a result, don't trust women, even if it's not their fault. Avoid these people. Definitely. Mark says, people like that need to go get some rope and a ladder. No, not here.
I know.
We're nice people. Toguro, I hope he grows up to be a rugged, individualist, manly man. Hear, hear. Kevin, thanks for joining. Viper says, if that story's real, I'm not even sure the kid's actually his. That's a good point.
For sure.
He sounds more beta than other betas. I'm calling him ultra beta.
Yeah.
Wow, the ultra beta.
Australia is not real. Just ask a flat earther, says. I love hearing about what the weirdos are doing. Yeah. Zixi says, former Chinese, I love America, but your leftists are giving me... Yeah, oh, yeah. Jerry says, where did you get that cool UFO lamp thing? I was on Instagram. And it floats. It's like it's levitating. It's seriously. Can I?
I don't know.
Wait.
I kind of
Look at
miss.
that.
I kind of miss the
globe?
The globe.
I like the
Yeah.
UFO, man. It's floating.
Yeah.
It's floating, dude.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
love
Andrea
it.
It's
says.
magnets.
Yeah, man.
Andrea says, you know the Chrome add-on Grammarly that's being pushed? Well, it records every keystroke on your computer and
Ooh.
phone. What does a Grammarly do? It
So
fixes.
Grammarly checks your grammar and stuff. It's being pushed hard on YouTube ads and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same with your keyboard, though, just so you know.
Same with your keyboard.
Yeah, like
On
your
your phone?
your autocorrect keyboards.
Mm.
They log
Oh.
everything.
Shire
Yeah,
Logistics
whatever.
says
Yeah.
she gets a 15% commission on all advertised. So they've done to hundreds of millions of dollars worth of bad by so far. That means his wife has $30 million already in commission. All right, well, it's about that time. We
that's
went
it.
over, but to everybody
it
who's
was
still
worth
hanging
it.
out,
Yeah,
if you haven't
man.
hit, if
You
you
guys
haven't
are
fun.
great. Thank you.
If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you want to support the show, click the join button down below. However, we are up on iTunes now. The full podcast will be put up every morning, and you can just check it out on iTunes and Spotify. We should be up on
Yeah.
all podcast platforms soon. And if you want to become a member, just to help out the show, you can go to youtube.com/TimcastIRL/join. Also, make sure, more importantly, just subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that way you get alerted to the show. And that being said, follow us. Boom, boom. And we'll see you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the live show.
Instagram, Twitter. Holler at me if you got any ideas for the show too. We're
Yeah.
always looking for ideas. And thanks to everybody who has been sending me ideas. A
man.
lot of them are good, and we might be talking about them soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we'll see
thanks.
you all tomorrow at 8.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Have a good night.